experienced, and we'd love to help you create a comprehensive retirement plan so that you can retire with confidence. Call today at 314-328-6000 to schedule a visit with us to talk about all things retirement. Call 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Firm offers insurance but does not provide tax or legal advice. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jules on Hampton your first stop. Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
Classic rock, Christian, EDM, hip-hop, Odyssey exclusive music stations. Every taste has a station. Brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar on the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rip my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Look, I hate that we have to play this game, right? This isn't the right way to govern. Go from mandate to mandate against a mandate. It's not the right way to govern. I still generally believe in this whole freedom of association principle, where you can associate with people you want to associate with as an employer or as an employee. But here's the thing, the federal government already took that first step, and they're still in the process of writing the rule under OSHA that would require businesses to vaccinate their employees or have them fired. Right. This is an absurd rule. This is such an overreach. It's unconstitutional. And so these reactions you're seeing from the states are, well, they're a reaction to that overstep in the first place. And Governor Abbott did what he had to do in order to protect Texas businesses. I mean, this is already, even though the rule has not technically been implemented yet, right. It already has a chilling effect on businesses. A lot of CEOs who they're either woke or they're so risk averse that it's pathological. They immediately implement this kind of stuff. And you know what? People are fighting back. We've all been seeing what's going on with Southwest. People are fighting back. They don't want to be told what to do. They know it's not practical. They know it's not necessary. A lot of these people have natural immunity. You know, if you're a pilot, you're sitting away from everybody. It's not like you're in a crowded area. I mean, we just don't need to be doing this.
Representative Dan Crenshaw there saying what we all need to be hearing right now, which is there's just not a need to do this. I hope that everybody understands. In the absence of mandates, everybody who wants to wear a mask or who wants people in their own businesses to be wearing a mask can still do that. You still have the freedom to choose that for your own place of business. You still have the freedom to do that for your own personal self. You obviously, at this point, still have the freedom to move about the country and wear your mask when you choose to wear your mask. A mandate takes away that choice, which seems like being the anti-choice party on the Democrat side. That's new to me. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I am back. Took a 4-day weekend to celebrate, yes, Columbus Day. We did not acknowledge either Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day yesterday at all. I hope we appropriately recognized that yesterday on the show. How did we mark the occasion?
I think we just said Happy Columbus Day and Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, if I remember correctly.
Did we cover all of our bases?
We didn't. Mike did.
Mike did? Mike,
yes.
Thanks, man. Way to check the boxes. I think it's weird to see. First of all, I'm going to ask this question out of ignorance. This question is not going to lead into some soliloquy about how smart I am. This is actually a question about how stupid I am. Does Indigenous Peoples Day being on the same day as Columbus Day, is that day mark anything specific? Does Columbus Day being on that particular day mark anything specific? I don't even know.
I don't think that Columbus Day marks anything specific. I think it's just a day that we set aside to honor Christopher Columbus. And I think, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I think that Indigenous Peoples Day was a response to Columbus Day.
Yeah, we shouldn't be celebrating this. Why? And then we go into the Indigenous people conversation. So we just replace one with the other. Ironically, the way we have synced up in my home where we are at in The Sopranos, which you haven't watched it, right?
No, I've never watched The Sopranos. Sopranos was on before I had HBO.
Yeah, same.
And it was off the air before.
I mean, it was on in the mid to late 90s,
Yeah.
and you and I were in grade school / high school at that time.
Yep.
So we had no business, none, watching The Sopranos. So for people, which is kind of an interesting subject, just on the passage of time, which is that Sopranos is one of the most pivotal series to ever hit television because it kind of created all of these follow-ups that we see now, which are just these years-long motion pictures, really, that we watch and consume in an episodic fashion. Sopranos really set that off. And I had learned that apparently The Sopranos was originally going to air on Fox, and then Fox let it go, and it went to HBO, which a lot of people would say if it would have aired on Fox, it never would have been The Sopranos, because what HBO could do, because HBO's HBO, was a lot different than what Fox would have done, and we would never have had, full stop, The Sopranos. But The Sopranos it's obviously about Italians in New Jersey who are a part of the mob. And there's this 3 or 4 episode, at least where we are right now, portion of season 4, I think. And it's all about Columbus Day. And in New Jersey or Newark or wherever, they would have a Columbus Day parade, which was a very big deal to the Italians. And in these episodes, there were some, I don't know if they were referred to in the 90s, or that might have been a little bit after the 90s. That might have been early 2000s, as Indigenous people or Native Americans or whatever. But that conflict existed then. And I just thought that's kind of interesting because that hasn't really been mainstream, but that has existed for decades. And of course, The Sopranos aren't my interest and ability to be entertained or not entertained by The Sopranos has very little to do with Columbus Day and everything, but I just thought it was interesting that in the Italian community, Christopher Columbus is big enough to get 3 or 4 episodes of importance out of The Sopranos.
Yes, he's a big deal, and he's still a big deal.
But in my life, it was a day off of work. I mean, I know Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. He probably discovered the Americas.
Do you remember the names of his ships?
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep. And he gets an A today.
I am likely not smarter than a 5th grader. And I know this because I have a 4th grader and a 6th grader. And these children are so blessed to have a teacher as a father. They're like, Mom, when's Dad going to get home? I need help with my homework. I'm like, that's kind of offensive to me. And smart of you.
Yeah.
I get it, kids. So, yeah, I mean, those are the types of things. I was just saying to my dad this weekend, I don't remember what we were talking about specifically, biblically, but I said, I was a closer in Bible trivia in grade school.
The closer. They brought you in to shut it down?
Oh, if you're picking teams, you're picking little Annie Freckleface, immediately, because I was top notch. And now people ask these questions and I'm like, oh, that answer is in here somewhere. I will know the answer to that when you say the answer, which I understand is not the same as knowing. but I know all that stuff, all of the stories, and like I was so good at that, and I can't recall that stuff anymore.
So, do you want to hear something that's kind of ironic?
Yeah.
Okay, and being a minister, the stories, the Sunday school stories, I don't really know them all that well.
Yeah.
And the reason being is I wasn't really raised in the church. I
Mhm.
didn't become a Christian until I was in my 20s. But if you want to talk like deep theological things,
Sure.
I'm all over that because that's what I went to school for. But it's kind of weird because people are like, well, do you remember in? I'm like, no.
No, I have in my lifetime been both of those things. But I just was out of practice, which is one of the reasons why I really value, we're going to speak with Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant in about 10 minutes here. I really would like to personally invite you to come to this event on this Thursday, October 14th at the Falls in Columbia, Illinois. I'm the keynote speaker. I'm usually the host. They've probably made a terrible mistake. We'll see.
Or they made a great,
Yeah.
a great mistake.
A great mistake, not a terrible one. This is going to be awesome. Brad's going to be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. It's going to be a good time, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I kind of, no, I'm really excited to do this because I get to speak. I get to speak on something I'm super passionate about, and that being Illinois, and Illinois being home and worth fighting for. But when it comes to education, we're going to speak with Senator Terri Bryant here in about 10 minutes about a lot of the mandates that are coming out of the top of the government in the state of Illinois. Mandates. You're not smart enough to make good decisions for you. And if you think you know what's right for you, if it conflicts with what J.B. Pritzker thinks is right for you, you lose. That's tyranny. I'm going to ask Terri Bryant about it when we come back after a break here in a few minutes. But of all of the things that face parents right now when they are looking at their children's education, and I know a lot of you listening right now have school-age kids. And I know a lot of you listening right now have school-age grandkids. Or maybe grandkids are coming on the scene for the first time. And when that happens, you see the world instantly differently. You see it instantly differently when you become a parent. And then you see it instantly differently again when you become a grandparent. And looking across the board, critical race theory. What is critical race theory? We're going to talk to former Governor McAuliffe a little bit later in a soundbite. Did you pull that? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
That was a great pull. We're going to find out how he defines critical race theory. It's not happening in schools, he says. But how does he define it? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the options that are out there right now for parents to choose where to send their kids to school, the enormous taxes that you're paying, I don't care where you are, you pay a lot of money that goes into public education. A lot of money. And in the state of Illinois, you pay a lot of money to pay for the retirement of those people who are providing said public education. And when you pay them, when you're paying into this drastically underfunded pension system, the reason it's underfunded is because the legislators stole from it and created such a huge hole that we don't even know, we don't even have an idea of how we're fixing it. We're not fixing it. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a very difficult thing to be a parent, to be a grandparent today, and look at the education system, where it's going, who the education system is set up to protect and provide for. It's not the students. It's not the kids. It doesn't take very many different examples to be able to prove that point, where we can look across the country at a system that is being run not for the teachers, not by the parents, not for the students. It's being run by the unions, with a bunch of teachers trapped in a system where if they speak up, they're afraid of punitive damages that might come after that. It doesn't benefit the kids. It benefits the unions and the people who the unions keep in power. And it's costing us a boatload of money. It's one of the reasons why, even though my taxes are what my taxes are, I emphatically support, for my family, it's Lutheran education. For yours, it might be just general parochial or Catholic education. Because the number one thing that is important in my household is understanding right and wrong in the context of forgiveness. Because Kids are not getting that anywhere else. You get it from the church. If I can put that in my kids' classroom every day, that's a priceless endeavor. Because what's going on in not only it's addition by subtraction just to go to a parochial school, but then when you add in the most important thing, what these kids start their day out with, to me, for us, that's the right decision. But I know that there are parochial schools all across the St. Louis area of all different kinds of denominations right now that are doing amazing work, giving local students an alternative to what the public education system is offering them right now. You should check out a local school near you if that's something that you think is of interest. Terri Bryant is going to be with us when we come back. Stephen Moore at 1 o'clock. I'm going to talk to him about what's going on with the airlines. I'm going to talk to him about inflation. I'm going to talk about supply chain issues. Seems like we are careening towards disaster. And while we are careening, we're like passing other disasters along the way. It gets very disastrous. Stephen Moore will probably have a lot to say about it. He'll be hyped up. And just right before the show started, I played Dan Crenshaw at the beginning of this segment. Dan Crenshaw is going to be on the show this week. I'm super excited about that. Been trying to get him on for a very long time. He's going to be on with us, and we're going to talk about mandates with him. So that's just to come. So if you're going to miss that in the future, you want to make sure you subscribe to the Andy Fry Show podcast. When we come back, Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant. If you want to know about that event that I'm working on, I'm going to share the flyer to the Andy Fry Show Facebook page right now. You can go get your tickets. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Sing with me all the songs.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show. It's not about left versus right. It's about wrong versus right. Where St. Louis comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Store.
Hurry into Edwards Carpet's Columbus Day sale. Get awesome sale prices on carpet, luxury vinyl, tile, and plank in both engineer and solid wood. With 0% financing, all floors are affordable. See you soon.
So, Ooh La La Spa and Dr. Kristen Jacobs. You can find them online at KristenJacobs.com, KRISTEN Jacobs.com. Let me talk to you about Dr. Jacobs. She's a mom, just like me, but she's got teenage boys. She's a wife of over 20 years, and she's located in Glen Carbon, and she makes it her job to help men and women just like you feel better about themselves and live a healthy lifestyle through aesthetics. I adore going to Ooh La La Spa. I love the entire setup. They are so welcoming and so engaging. And, you know, we can talk about Botox and fillers and stuff like that, but we can also talk about just general skincare, healthy skincare, great products, having somebody guide you on this process so that you're not like I have been in the past, which is, what lotion do I need to use right now? Oh, this moisturizer makes a lot of great promises. I'm going to use this. And you just don't ever really see the results that you're looking for. Dr. Jacobs can put you on the path to having healthy skin that you are going to feel and look great in. Don't put this off any longer. Reach out to Dr. Jacobs. Tell him that the Annie Fry Show sent you, men and women. She sees tons of both. I promise you. Don't be afraid. And check out their amazing Google reviews. She's legit. She is the doctor that I go see for my skincare, and I hope you do too. Ooh La La Spa, KristenJacobs.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. Ask about winter promotions.
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%? That's why we are excited to offer you several accounts that are short-term and pay better than bank rates. For example, we currently have a 3-year account paying 2.4% and a 5-year account paying 3.5% per year guaranteed. What a great place for your lazy money. You know, the money that you don't plan to use for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, terms and conditions do apply. So for more information, call 314-373-1598. Again, call 314-373-1598. This is Marvin Mitchell, and we would like to put your lazy money to work for you. Call 314-373-1598.
Guarantees are backed by the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Rates can change without notice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas.
As a small business owner, I'm trying to build my business while keeping costs down. So imagine my surprise when I heard Pi Insurance on the radio saying I might be overpaying for workers' comp. Pi said they could save small businesses like mine up to 30% on workers' comp coverage. It sounded simple. So I went to trypi.com, got a quote in 3 minutes, and ended up saving thousands. Pi Insurance is a breath of fresh air. Their team put me at ease by explaining my policy and making sure I only paid for what I needed. It felt great to know I was protecting my employees while saving money. It's easy to see why Pi is rated excellent on Trustpilot by customers. If you're a small business owner, check out Pi Insurance for workers' comp. Ask your agent for Pi or see how much you could save at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Developing overnight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who likes to brag about Texas being a pro-business state, he signed an executive order severely limiting the freedom of businesses to make their own choices. Abbott banned any entity, including private businesses, from enforcing vaccine requirements on workers.
That's CNN, John Berman. Who's John Berman? Do you know John Berman?
I don't watch much CNN.
Nor do
so
I.
He just seems like a host.
I usually know the names, though. Did you hear the way he said that Governor Abbott in Texas likes to brag about being a pro-business state? Why is everybody leaving California and Illinois to go live in Texas and Florida and take their businesses with them?
You know, I have some thoughts on why, like, is this not pro-business or is this pro-business, and who Governor Abbott's actually supposed to be defending? I've looked at this, and one of the things that bothers me is like, because ordinarily I'm like, no, let's keep government out of business as much as we can. But when you talk about Biden's vaccine mandate for everybody, it's a federal mandate. What Abbott is doing in this sense is defending the individual, and so that's why I am okay with Abbott getting into that vaccine.
He just Mr. John Berman, who I've just met, is like so angry that Texas is pro-business. I wonder if Berman would ever introduce Governor Pritzker saying something, being like, who claims to be Illinois to be pro-business. Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant is on with us, representing Illinois' 58th district. I don't know if you got to hear us, Senator, with that Greg Abbott, like suggesting that it's kind of goofy that Texas is pro-business. Isn't one of the main places that Illinoisans are fleeing to Texas?
Yeah, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia. I have family in Georgia and Tennessee, and they say to me on a daily basis, why don't you move out of that godforsaken state? And we're all from Illinois.
Yeah.
So my mom, my sisters, everybody, we're all from here. They moved out. I'm not leaving. I lived in Oklahoma for about 6 years. I lived in Florida when I was in high school. Every state has its issues. Illinois has its issues, of course, but we can fix them. But we can't fix them with anti-business sentiment, which is pretty much what I hear on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's so very true. The direction that the state of Illinois is going right now sure seems to me to be doubling down on a lot of the policies that have been put in place by a massive amount of Democrat control of the state that has driven people out. So you look at what's going on and, what's the solution to that? Well, we're in a huge amount of debt. So let's raise taxes on our people and require them to do a bunch of things because the government knows what's best for them more than those individuals do. Don't you feel like they're kind of doubling down saying, maybe you haven't gotten it yet, but we're going to smack the Illinois people around until they finally do or leave?
Well, no, it's more than just a feeling. I mean, I see it in action when we go to Springfield. It's, you on the floor constantly are debating with them about the fact, you ask over and over again, what does this cost? Well, this only cost, let's say, I'll use one that was an actual debate. Well, this only cost $12 million. All right, well, I guess in the scheme of a $40 billion budget, 12 million is not that much, but, a little here, a little there. And the next thing you know, you've got 200 new programs or 200 programs that have been expanded. We do have enough money in Illinois to manage. And, there are some like me who, whether a person agrees with me or doesn't agree with me, I did vote for the income tax increase back in 2017, but I voted for it because we were accruing $200 million a month in new debt because we weren't paying our bills. Why? Because since 2014, all the way up until that point, until 2017, we knew that that the income tax was going to sunset. So what was the answer? They just kept expanding programs and creating new programs. So you just continue to create debt with the attitude of, well, if we can go ahead and create this debt because we'll just raise taxes. So clearly and obviously that is not the right answer. And we have got to get this stuff under control. Last time I was on your show, we talked about the welcome centers.
Yeah.
There's a perfect example. $90 million for what? We can't even get a straight answer.
Yeah. The people of Illinois are so detached from the spending that is taking place out of Springfield that is often the brainchild of the governor who is in charge, who we had a Republican governor for a while and we couldn't get anywhere because there's such deadlock between the two. It's our money. The money comes from our paychecks. You need people in the state making money so that the tax dollars that come out of those paychecks can, help the taxpayers who live in that state. I mean, in theory, that money is supposed to be to benefit the lives of the taxpayers who are surrendering those dollars to the state government. It seems to me like Illinois is in a cycle of sustaining itself and the balance of power that exists and the lobbyists and the unions who work very hard to keep the power structure the same. Seems like that money comes out of my paycheck and the listener's paycheck right now who's on their lunch break and goes into Springfield and doesn't really serve the benefit of that taxpayer.
No, I mean, let's look at when I was first elected in 2014, I think the budget was roughly $35 billion, right? So in 2014. Then in 2015, the income tax increase sunsetted. We went from 2015 to 2017, accruing debt. In 2017, Bruce Rauner filed a budget that would have been about $36.5 billion. And Madigan said, absolutely not. We wanted $38 billion. We voted it down, so it didn't pass. So what happens? Mike Madigan comes back with a $40 billion budget, which again was voted down. We ended up in 2017 ending the budget impasse with a $36.5 billion budget. The next year, 2018, was $37.5 billion. And now we're up to $42 billion for this fiscal year. There's no end. There's no end to the insatiable hunger for spending that the majority Democrat Party has in Illinois.
Yeah, and it's costing the people their livelihoods here in the state. I wanted to ask you a little bit. We're speaking with Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant, who represents the 58th District here in Southern Illinois. I wanted to ask you a bit about how the governor has managed COVID and the mandates that he's put on everybody who lives in the state, but also the requirements for educators, for public workers, for students to wear masks in school. teachers to have to be vaccinated or to test if they don't, other public workers to do that. This doesn't seem like the time where we can afford to lose these public workers or even, healthcare workers too. Where these people are being forced off the job if they don't want to surrender to a medical decision that Governor Pritzker wants to make for them at a really, really scary time.
That's right. And, some of them have had COVID. And so they don't, everyone says follow the science, right? That's what the Pritzker administration says. We're following the science. Okay, but what science? Because there's a lot of science that shows that if you've had COVID and then you get a vaccine, you actually could be in danger, right? There's some that says no, it gives you more immunity. Others that say no, it might place you in danger. I just had a conversation with a young lady who lives in Murfreesboro who gave me a packet of material that is written actually by a lieutenant colonel, and she is the flight surgeon for a unit. It has an affidavit from her that shows that she grounded all of the pilots that were under her care who had the COVID vaccine because she was concerned how this is going to affect their heart, right? So there is a lot of science that says that it's not good. When you have competing science like this, how can a governor or a president mandate that vaccine and then they don't mandate to illegal immigrants? They mandate to prison workers, but not to inmates or the inmate visitors. Okay, so the governor's basically saying, well, I'm not allowed to do it to the inmates because we can't put anything in their body they don't want. Okay, they have more rights than we do apparently, but they're not even asking for proof that a visitor coming in has had the vaccine, all while they're mandating staff to. And then as far as teachers go, the unfortunate thing is there are teachers who really don't want to get this, and quite often I am right on page with what the Illinois Education Association is fighting for their teachers. But in this case, I think they've gotten it definitely wrong. Having someone mandated to take a vaccine, put it in their body when they're not even given the opportunity to bring in a PCR test that shows they've already had it, and that their immunity, of course, is stronger than if they take the vaccine. It's a governor and a president who are dictating, and I use the word dictate because they are dictators, dictating to us what they believe is right without even following our wishes or following the science that goes along with it. Not all science says that the vaccine is good.
Yeah. Senator Terri Bryant was on with us right now. You are absolutely right. What they are doing is anti-science. It is power obsessed. And that is what has gotten us into such deep doo-doo in the state of Illinois over the course of generations of misspending and a disrespect for the Illinois taxpayer. So I am going to be with you this Thursday at the Falls in Columbia, Illinois. I'm so excited. I've got notes written down like a crazy person about what I'm going to be talking about in the speech that I'm going to give. But I want to invite people to come hang out with us and be with us at this amazing event at the Falls this Thursday. Terri, can you just kind of tell people what they might expect from this event?
Sure. We'll be introducing some of the elected officials that are there because we want everyone to be able to meet and greet some of those individuals. It will be you and I talking. I'll give a presentation. And then, of course, I'm just going to cut you loose to kind of do what you do. I think everybody's super excited about that. We're going to start at 6:00. We hope to be done by 8:30, and there'll be lots of good food. And certainly, you can get tickets by contacting Kathy Wills at 618-534-4787. And we just love to have folks there. I do things in a way that maybe they're not used to doing with politicians. We're going to keep it pretty casual, and folks can come. They can dress up if they want to, or they can come casual. Everybody's welcome. It's a beautiful venue, so I think we're all going to have a good time.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. We've shared the event on our Facebook page, so you can go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page to see the flyer there as well and the information to get your tickets. And I look forward to it. Senator, thank you so much for coming on with us again. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You as well. See you soon. Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant, the 58th District, which is here in Southern Illinois. And she's great. And I'm glad that she is that she's been able to come on the show with us. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Ryan Wiggins is going to join us in studio for Wiggins America. A reminder that Stephen Moore is going to be with us at 1:10 as well. I'm going to ask him what he can tell us about some of these, if he knows anything about the airline issues that are taking place, and how much does something like this disrupt commerce in general? Like, how much does something specific to transportation affect the economy as a whole? Because canceling all these flights, big deal. Have you heard from Pete Buttigieg? Has Pete Buttigieg spoken on this? Remember, he's the transportation secretary. I haven't heard from Pete yet. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America in a minute.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Michael Goodwin is back with us this afternoon from the New York Post.
If the president is unpopular and viewed as weak and incompetent, then how is the party going to withstand that in the midterms?
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 52 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Most jewelers will charge you extra if you want a warranty. Not us. At Shane Company, our warranty is free for a lifetime and even covers a center stone. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DH Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, fall is a great time to get some painting knocked off your to-do list, and CertaPro Painters is there to help. This is Mark Reardon. I've depended on CertaPro for years, and right now they're about to come over to restain my deck. They can do that for you or tackle any other interior or exterior painting job. The cooler fall weather makes it a great time to do outside jobs to prevent chipping, peeling, or fading, or refresh interior spaces like the living room or kitchen. CertaPro can do it all. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Book your appointment today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Proven and trusted experts in painting. CertaPro Painters.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is until you stop expecting the politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
You could be on your way to a better lifestyle and experience the life of your dreams. Tune in to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
St. Louis has been hit with an onslaught of storms this spring and summer that have produced hail and high winds. The areas of Town and Country, Ladue, Maryland Heights, Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, Richmond Heights have had some of the worst storm damage. Even minor storm damage can cause your roof to deteriorate and leak over time. But you can have your roof checked for free by the qualified roofing experts at St. Louis-based First Choice Roofing and Construction. For over 12 years, First Choice has offered free roof inspections. If you don't have hail and weather damage, we will tell you. If you do, we work directly with your insurance company and your insurance adjuster to make sure you're maximizing the restoration claim for your home. Schedule your free roofing evaluation now by calling 636-282-0090. That's 636-282-0090. 636-282-0090. Or book your free roof inspection online. FirstChoiceSTL.com. That's First Choice with the numeral FirstChoiceSTL.com.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine.
Do you really know about the long-term?
Did you read that thing on the internet about vaccines?
There's a lot of talk about COVID-19 vaccines. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider to make the decision that's right for you. Visit getvaccineanswers.org for more. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
People are talking about people. I hear them whisper. You won't believe it. They think we're lovers. Kept undercover. I'll just ignore it.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being here today with us. We appreciate that. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday so far. And I'm glad to be back after a long weekend, which was incredibly boring as far as everybody else's standards go. But as a parent, got a lot of stuff done. It's like Columbus Day weekend is when you get to take some time off with your kids and use your vacation days so that you can do housework. That's parenting.
That's funny because that's exactly what we did. Same exact thing.
Like, I'm going to take some time and clean things.
Yeah.
So that by the time vacation is over and I go back to work, it's all messy again.
Yeah, it's frustrating because it lasts one day.
I was going to say, when you say it out loud, it feels very sad.
It does. But when you're doing it, you're like, this has to be done. And I feel good about it.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow.
Look at me go.
Yeah. And
like
you're right.
high-fiving your spouse.
Long
like, we're
weekend,
awesome.
Perfect time to do that.
We've only put this off for years.
Depending on the room.
All right, let's get to the
Wiggins.
Oh, Wiggins.
Do you have a room in your house that is just like, yeah, that's just that room?
Well, we got more than one of those.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. We got the furnace rooms that for everybody, right?
No, I mean like a room that you like
a room you
see.
could use.
That like you have guests over and they're like, they walk past and like, oh, that room looks exactly the same way it looked last year.
Well, yes, but that room is typically the guest bedroom.
Oh.
And so nobody ever uses it anyway.
There's a door on that, I assume.
Yes.
Well, you can close the door.
Oh, yeah, we close the door.
So people don't know how shameful you really do live.
No, you're right. That's very true.
Quick, people are coming over. Put it in the guest bedroom.
Close the door.
It's not closing.
Exactly.
All right, what do you got?
Well, now I know that next time I come over to your house, I'll look for that room.
I don't have doors on my main floor. It's sad. You should see our upstairs. Actually, our upstairs looks great. You should see our upstairs.
I'm going to do that next
time. But you need to come over probably by this afternoon.
We'll come over for the next debate.
You know, I'm over here and I'm listening to you guys talking about having an extra room in your house. You guys live in huge houses. I don't have any extra room in my house.
You're assuming that like the living space that it is just an organized mess.
I have a huge house.
Well, yeah, I mean, so's my house.
Don't
well,
live in those
actually, I shouldn't
fancy
say
digs
that.
like the Wigginses is.
My wife does a wonderful job of keeping up with things, but we don't have an extra room. Our closets are a mess, so we might need to call, the closet factory. But
I have 4 kids, Brad. There's a certain amount of space that is required.
Well, I promoted this on Twitter, so I better get to it.
Yeah.
At Radio Wiggins.
You said at 12:45, so we are 4 minutes
We're
late.
past that now. I got my immunity checked on Friday, and I got my results.
Yeah.
Interested to know what they are?
I think it'd be pretty stupid for you to come on here and say you're not immune.
You would be correct, ma'am.
Wait, that you're stupid for saying it or that you are immune?
What do you think about that for a minute?
Yeah, you want to think through before you just dive in.
So here's the
first.
deal.
There's still time. You can back out. Delete the tweet.
Yeah, now that I've said it on the radio.
When you run for office one day, they'll be like, why did Ryan Wiggins delete this tweet?
Right. It lasted for
12:49.
almost an hour, and then he took it down. Why? So if you get above...
CNN's John Berman is going to investigate you.
What is this? Did I miss this?
Do you know who John Berman on CNN is?
No.
My point.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I could prove it without knowing it.
Yeah.
Above a 0.8,
Mm-hmm.
and you're immune to COVID-19. And I think...
Is immune the right word?
Well, it's called natural immunity, so I don't know.
That's the word they're using.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just tell you how many antibodies you have. We just refer to it as natural immunity versus vaccine immunity. But none of those terms really apply to like full immunity in the survivor sense of the word.
So the case of being above 0.8, what is it like? Is there anything that scientifically written by nonpartisan people, they say above 0.8 is fill in the vocabulary word here?
Oh, good question. I should have brought in the actual readout so I could just read directly from it. But it basically just gives you a number, and it says if it's above a 0.8, you're immune. If it's below a 0.7, you're not.
I'm just very curious
what
if
that word is.
If it actually says,
Well,
because that's what it means.
Yeah.
But I wonder what it actually says.
Well,
But what's your number?
I can try to log in while we're talking and actually tell you. But the number is, so again, above a 0.8, you're immune. My number, 1,314. I think I'm pretty safe.
And you had it in November.
December.
Wow.
Mhm. Almost, not quite a year, 10 months. And so the natural immunity thing, I had people in my life encouraging me, because you talk about this on the radio so much, why don't you go get it done? But I was like,
Get what done?
Get the test done.
Oh.
So, but I knew I had immunity.
Work, your face, your cheeks, and your lips.
Why don't you go get this done? Get your calves done.
Brian, you know what would look good?
When
If
you're
you
out
fixed your
here,
face.
when you're out here in the sun, your calves are so white. Get them artificially tanned. It'd be good.
Who goes to getting work done to getting your calves done?
Oh,
Like,
I just think back
That's
to
what
this
guys do.
MTV special that I saw in the 90s about guys who were getting their calves with implants.
Mhm.
And I always think about, like, what kind of work would guys go to get done? And I always go to calf implants.
Calves,
apparently.
biceps, and shoulders. It's the most work guys get
women
done.
Really?
Mhm.
Women don't need that from their men.
Mm-mm.
If a man is doing that, it's for him.
It's
It's not for her.
I have a lot of disdain for guys that do that, unless you have an injury or something that caused, if your calf is messed up from a car accident or something like that, I can understand it. And then you want them to match, but I just don't go put in the work at the gym. Stop cheating.
Biologically, that you can probably only accomplish so far. I just think it's like a. It's not why we're talking. It's not what we're talking about in Weekends America. Unless you are getting calf implants.
I'm
If
not
your
going to tell you
number-
if I am.
If your number is over 1,000, you should get calf implants.
You know what? It's interesting though, is I wonder if you get the antibody test after not having COVID and just having the vaccine, would that pick that up too?
And I wonder if you got it, if you've had COVID and the vaccine.
Well, that's funny because I actually printed out a news story. This is finally starting to break through into major news. Yahoo News has a story about it finally, because people are asking the question so much. Well, why do I have to get a vaccine passport? I have to lose my job if I have natural immunity? That's a really good question that nobody's answering, but that some people are starting to actually write about.
On Yahoo?
This is a Yahoo News story. And so Brad Young, who filled in you for Friday, sent this to me. He said, here, check this one out. So I did, and they lead with a CDC study that's just vaccinate. It's natural. Everybody in the focus group had natural immunity. Half of them also got the vaccine and half didn't. So it's not a study about getting vaccinated versus having natural immunity. It's a study on natural immunity itself and whether the vaccine is better with natural immunity. I'm like, well, that's not the point of what people are saying. So they lead with why the vaccine is still good, basically, instead of why natural immunity by itself is good enough. But then throughout it, they acknowledge in this article over and over and over that natural immunity exists, and that they cite studies over and over and over. And some of them saying, like this one that I keep referring to from Harvard, 27 times better than the vaccine against Delta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this stuff's real. So it just goes to show that when I'm on the radio and I'm telling you my own personal results just to show that the point is true. I have not been vaccinated, but I have natural immunity, and apparently an abundance of natural immunity almost a year later, that these things are not intended for your health. These are intended for control.
And if you are somebody who has not had COVID and you got the vaccine, your immunity will likely, if the science of what they're saying is, which I believe that the vaccine is helping people with immunity. If you haven't had the vaccine and you're an individual who has chosen to go get the vaccine because you haven't had COVID, you can find yourself with an increased amount of immunity towards COVID. I am emphatic. I'm pleading with you. If you are in a conversation with somebody about whether or not government or businesses should be mandating vaccines, please understand the difference between talking about science and talking about freedom. Entirely different conversations. And I would venture to say the majority of conversations, because you have people who are pro-vaccine and who are anti-vaccine, the majority of those conversations is one side arguing on the case of science and one side arguing on the case of freedom. The truth is that if you were both agreeably discussing the science behind all of this, there's a lot to debate there, which is what the field of science is actually there for, is to constantly test things and hypothesize and prove and disprove over and over and over again. That's the scientific method. That's what science is. Science is never complete. Science is a constant progress in testing theories. Have the science conversations, but don't get wrapped up in discussing your personal freedoms as a citizen or even as an employee. Don't have that argument on behalf of what is freedom and what is science, because what Ryan is pointing out here is science-based information to defend the right to your freedom, which is God-given. And if you surrender that freedom conversation on science, you'll never make your point. Happy immunity.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Air quotes immunity. You know what the word is yet?
I looked it up. It just says antibodies.
Stephen Moore, movie.
If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can pay you cash and close in as little as 5 days. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis is your most trusted home buyer. We buy houses in any condition, any price range, and in any location in the St. Louis metro. Call 314-782-5000. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis buys inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses, and even those my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis today. Vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, get a cash offer in just 7 minutes. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-5000. That's 314-782-5000. 314-782-5000.
Have you called the Closet Factory yet? These St. Louisans is family-owned business that makes its specialty in solving your customized storage needs. It's way more affordable than you think. Reach out to the Closet Factory for your problem area today. Now, I said this weekend I spent time organizing the upstairs. Man, you have a fourth kid, you have to shuffle all the bedrooms. It's very stressful. I was thinking about Closet Factory all weekend because I had more places to put the things that we need to put so that stuff is organized and the kids know where to go and I know where things belong. They came into my house and organized our closets. They took my one daughter's closet and put customized storage in it so we could split it for my 5-year-old and for the new baby. And it is perfect for us. If you have a storage solution issue in your home, call them 314-961-4300. That's 314-961-4300 and have them customize a solution for you today. Go online to closetfactory.com.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
More fuel for the mandate debate. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Rulings just in from court fights over COVID vaccine rules in New York. Fox's Gernal Scott has more live.
Lisa, two decisions today. One in the Northern District of New York continues to bar the state health department from upholding a requirement that denies religious exemptions to getting the vaccine and also prevents any repercussions because of it. This ruling only applies to healthcare workers opting out on religious grounds. For most state health professionals, the mandate still stands. A second decision is another loss for New York City teachers. A district judge denied 10 educators and administrators hoping to not be vaccinated due to their religious beliefs. The teachers' efforts sought to reverse another judge's denial last week. Lisa.
Thanks, Colonel. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she is disappointed to have to trim trillions of dollars in spending proposed by President Biden, but says the goal remains to have something transformative.
We are very grateful to our president for saying, I want to pass the bipartisan legislation on infrastructure, but I will not confine my vision for the future to what can be in that bill. Hence, we need the Build Back Better.
Pelosi emphasizing they need something that can pass both the House and Senate, where two moderate Democrats are drawing a line on spending levels. Vice President Kamala Harris addressing the National Congress of American Indians and saying the country must not shy away from a, quote, shameful past.
Those explorers ushered in a wave of devastation for tribal nations, perpetrating violence, stealing land, and spreading disease.
She says the administration is committed to addressing the impact of the past on Native American communities today and that they'll renegotiate an agreement aimed at supporting tribal sovereignty. America is listening to Fox News.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Here's a fact. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer. Also a fact. Vaccines are highly effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths, even from the Delta variant. If you've got questions about COVID vaccines, talk to a doctor because our kids are irreplaceable. We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service heating and cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Little dome of high pressure and a nice afternoon around town. Sunshine in control, 78 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, though clouds will be increasing. Some showers developing, mainly late night, 60 after midnight. Wednesday, cloudy, windy periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms, 79, 80. Keep some showers and thunderstorms around Thursday and Friday, though it's cooler. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Thank goodness for Joe Manchin taking a stand against cradle to grave, but Bernie, of course, doesn't like that.
I disagree with him, but it is wrong. It is really not playing fair that one or two people think that they should be able to stop what 48 members of the Democratic caucus want, what the American people want, what the president of the United States wants.
Well, Bernie's broadening out what the American people really want quite far there.
The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group, your go-to for protecting your retirement. Thomas Helbig has helped 97.1 listeners, Annie Fry Show listeners, just like you, be confident and comfortable going into retirement. Even right now, when inflation is going higher, it's going to be more expensive to live on a fixed income. It is right now. So if you're somebody who's very close to retirement and you're not 100% sure that you're set, you need Thomas Helbig, and he will give you a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review when you call 314-993-9494. Now, personal favor to ask, when you call and schedule it, tell him Annie sent you. He loves to hear that. Tell him that you need help making sure that you have the peace of mind, the security, that all of that you've put into your retirement is going to be there to work hard for you when your retirement comes. Maybe you want to retire early. Maybe you don't want to have to, cave into mandates. Maybe you don't want to have to abide by a system in a workplace that you just don't want to be anymore. Maybe you want to see if you can retire early. He can help you with all of that. 314-993-9494. You can visit him online at retirementkey.com.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc. from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visits your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Odyssey.com is where you can download the app and listen to 97.1 on your phone. Where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk. The Odyssey app for streaming. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, Riverviews, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Florida now seeing an average of $3.17 at the pump, the highest since 2014. And depending on where you go, it could be even higher. We found at least 2 stations in Miami where regular gas is $4.59.
Doesn't it make you want to cry looking at that number?
Yeah, for sure.
The national average for gas is $3.27. Here's what it's looking like in South Florida. Dade at $3.18, Broward at $3.21, Monroe $3.24, and Palm Beach County at $3.32.
I'm really worried about gas prices going up. That's going to really hammer a lot of Floridians who have to commute to work every day.
Certainly since the average gas price rose 12 cents last week, according to AAA.
The supplies are not what they used to be. There's a whole host of things that are really having problems right now.
So that was Ron DeSantis you could hear talking about reacting to rising gas prices in Florida. You've seen it here too, as well, along with everything else that comes along with inflation. These are the type of issues that quickly make people who are apolitical individuals look at who's in charge and say, we need something different here. I remember when gas prices were really low under Donald Trump, I remember a lot of people saying the president does not control the cost of gas, that the idea that gas being cheaper under Trump isn't Trump's credit. Is gas being more expensive under Joe Biden's fault? If people want to argue with you about that, then say, okay, let's not talk about gas. Let's talk about everything else. It's really expensive to be a consumer right now. Do you guys see that in your own individual shopping? Like, is there anything that sticks out to you?
Well, yes. Price of meat has gone way up. I eat a lot of chicken because of my heart, and so the cost of chicken has gone way up. My wife does most of the shopping. So
Is
I
it
don't,
because of your heart? Because you love cattle so much?
Yes. Yeah. Eat more chicken.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're a big Chick-fil-A fan.
Yeah, except Chick-fil-A fries everything, so I gotta stay away from that. But their grilled sandwiches are pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed that my wife does most of the shopping, and so we pay attention to what our grocery budgets are and stuff like that, and it's gone up. It's more expensive now, and there's no way around it. And like, you were saying earlier, you were talking about how people are like, well, the president doesn't really have control over the price of gas. Yes and no. I mean, there was a correlation between who took office and what gas prices did. They jumped. And there are some things that you can point to that he did, that he signed.
Supply is one of them.
Right. And that's what gas prices are, supply and demand. It's a speculative market, all that other fun stuff. But if you make executive orders on day one that cut supply, or that will cut supply in the future, because, that pipeline wasn't finished yet. It wasn't actually pumping oil, but oils are a future market. If you cut that, and the speculation is we're going to have less of that, and now you're relying on foreign countries to bring in your oil, yeah, that's going to be more expensive. It's more expensive to ship oil overseas on a tanker than it is to pipe it from the same continent to the refineries. So yeah, things like that.
Isn't that $0 too, Brad?
What's that?
Shipping.
Shipping, yeah.
I'll tell you what, nothing I order online is cheaper to ship than it is for me to go walk to the store and pick it up.
Right.
I'm always paying for it. So why would that not extend to actual ships that are shipping things across the ocean, all that stuff that we, make and purchase from China? Listen to Mark Meadows on the economy here.
This is what the Democrats are focused on as the country is reeling from this inflation, supply chain issues, border, et cetera.
Well, you're exactly right, Laura. I can tell you what we're seeing here is basically Democrats want to talk about anything other than the economy, anything other than the fact that there are more people that could be working that aren't working right now. And you were exactly right to hit on all of these. We went from energy dominance, and we've now got a Secretary of Energy that somehow is lost. They need to go back to high school as it relates to what we can do. We went from energy dominance to begging OPEC to reduce oil prices and get gasoline prices down. And yeah, we are paying people not to work. We've got a supply chain issue that's going to affect not only our economy in the near term, but the long term. But here's what the Democrats are trying to do, Laura. They're trying to replace a robust economy with big government. So
Listening to Mark Meadows there breaking down a lot of what we are all seeing with our own pocketbooks and the economy. Here's something interesting I came across today. And I remember Ryan talking about this weeks ago. Target launches Black Friday sales early amid supply chain crunch. Remember when Ryan was saying, like, hey, if you have any big purchase to make, you should make them now, because there are going to be major concerns going forward about the availability of goods and services. Christmas shopping. I've been making lists. I have not bought any Christmas presents yet, but I have things that I'm buying for people on a list so that I can see the deal and make the purchase when I see the deal. But when you see Target, this is from Barron's, a website who's reporting on this. Target is ushering in the holiday season early this year, dropping Black Friday-like deals in mid-October in a bid to compete with rivals Amazon.com and Walmart for consumer spending. The retail giant has been enticing early bird shoppers through its Deal Days event, which started Sunday and runs through Tuesday. So I guess you can get on this right now. It's going to be over today. As we approach the holiday season, guests are excited to shop early, and our team is ready to help them prepare so we can celebrate what matters most, time with family and friends. So the biggest purchasing time of the year going into the holiday season, you add in inflation, supply chain issues, availability of products and the ability to get them to you on time, and then staffing shortages on top of all of it. I'm going to try to have my Christmas shopping done before Thanksgiving. That's what I'm saying. If I publicly say it to you right now, then I will feel more accountable and maybe get close to being done.
Do you need me to hold you accountable for that?
Yeah. You can
Oh,
every
boy.
day come in. If you were Ryan Wiggins, you'd be like, did you buy my Christmas present yet?
Oh, I'm not Ryan Wiggins, but I can put him on the task.
You can say, did you buy Ryan Wiggins' present yet? He's going to ask you. I just think that Americans, I keep saying this, but we are only 9 months into this presidency. And
Yeah.
they haven't even accomplished the economic goals this year, specifically the spending bill. They haven't even accomplished what I feel like we should all be going, man, if that happens, we are screwed. They haven't even gotten there yet.
Yeah. You know, I saw a tweet from a guy who had just moved to Idaho, and he was complaining that he wanted to order stuff, and he lived in a part of the country that he couldn't get that order at, in a couple days. It was going to take a week for something to come from Amazon. And it got me thinking, and I don't know if you've thought about this, and the way the country is going right now, we are going to go back to a time when we can't have it right now. The United States of America.
Our generation doesn't know much about that.
The United States of America is about to become a country where we can't get it right now and we have to wait. That's something that I never thought I would see. And it's a direct result of the policies that are being put in place.
Not only is that a drastic sea change in what our generation is used to. I mean, obviously, there are people who are from the greatest generation who are still with us, who know what it's like to just go without. Forget about right now. They know. That's why they tend to keep so many things, because you never know when you might need it.
Absolutely.
That there's a retention there, and then you buy things when you have to have them, and you keep them. And then the boomer generation, which was affected more by that greatest generation than the subsequent generations that come after that. As a senior millennial, if I might, you, Brad, as well, being somebody who knew what it was like to live without the internet, pretty much. I mean, the internet was not a staple use for anything really going into high school.
Right.
It was becoming something that people use, but it was really more of an entertainment thing. It wasn't a functional thing. I was not allowed to, in my academic career, including through getting my bachelor's degree, allowed to use the internet for any type of sourcing on any document or paper ever.
I remember that because it wasn't trustworthy, right?
We went to the library
and
read books. It was awful. But I did it. But regardless, we have become a society that has demands that are met. And then the competition in the marketplace becomes, how can we meet those needs faster? Because you don't necessarily have to deliver a better product. You just have to deliver it faster, like literally deliver it faster. So what do they end up doing? They end up talking about creating drones that can drop your packages off from like food.
They had it
in a day. And now what happened for me personally, if I am shopping on Amazon and it doesn't say Prime, like I check the Prime box, because I don't want to see stuff that isn't going to come in 2 days or less.
Yeah, I do the same thing too, especially when I'm looking for something that I need. And like the thought that I'm at the place in my life where I never thought I'd be, where I can order something off the internet and it was going to be there in time, and it was faster than going and picking it up. And I'm always the kind of person that likes to go pick stuff up, put my hands on it and look at it. But I'm comfortable ordering stuff off of Amazon, and it's so comfortable now that, like you said, you check that little slider and don't even look for the stuff that isn't Prime. And even that stuff that isn't Prime shows up within a couple days anyway.
I'm not like, I don't want to go as far as saying my husband doesn't allow me to go shopping at a Target or Walmart. We've discussed this before, but I'm a browser. I will spend so much more money if I'm the one who, I don't even need to be in there very long to like, if the amount of money, if my husband goes into Walmart or Target for 15 minutes, and if I go in for 15 minutes, it is a drastic difference in what we'll spend, because my husband is very capable. And I don't think this is a male-female thing, but it might skew a little bit more towards females from the whole shopping perspective. But I want to look through the store to be reminded of things that I might need, which might be like light bulbs. You find out you need a light bulb at 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to the store to buy light bulbs. And then you go to the store in 2 days because you need diapers and dish soap. And if you don't go past the light bulbs, you don't think I need to get light bulbs. So what I do is I like lap the store and see the aisles. And then if I go past the light bulb, ding, I have an idea, light bulb, and I will pick up light bulbs. So I'll do that through the whole store and I'll get things that we need and some things that are really cute for babies that I'm like, I need, but I don't. So I shop and I browse. He's like, I need to go to aisle 2, 7, and 23. In, out, fixed, done.
So I'm impressed that he knows which aisles to go to. So
He
I end up
probably does.
lapping the store because I don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
But I go there for a purpose, and it's go get what I need and then leave.
I also am, I went, I am, for Christmas gifts, I'm trying to, especially if it's like for somebody who hasn't told me, like, you know, like a close family member where you can get them something that, you know, this is the thing that they want. I am emphatically telling myself to shop super local. Like, what are the gifts that you can give people that are going to come from people who have been busting their butts through this pandemic to try to keep things afloat?
Mm-hmm.
Can't hire people, can't get people to come to work because they don't want to and they haven't needed to over the course of the last few months. Like, if you can find that thing to give to somebody at a locally owned and operated business and support those people, it's more important now than it's ever been before to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you like to shop? Like, when you say shop local, do you have like special, like, does Edwardsville have a downtown?
Oh yeah. Main Street.
Okay. See, I've never been to Main Street, Edwardsville.
It's very good food and very good bar scene that doesn't have to necessarily be, you know, just about bars. Like, there's just a lot of really good food down there, and there's tons of really cute boutiques and antique stuff and home wares and that type of stuff. I find it to be very refreshing to be able to go shop at those stores and support those local people.
Yeah. There's a little dog shop up in Edwardsville that we like to go to whenever we're in the area. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but it's called Four Muddy Paws.
Mm-hmm.
And so Terry and I like to go up there because it's a small shop, but they have like the stuff that my wife really wants to get the dog. So my wife likes to get our dog, and this is ridiculous, like organic stuff. You know, this is made from real Alaskan salmon and yams, and he'll like that.
That's okay. You could treat your dog.
Well, yeah, but
There's nothing wrong with that.
My dog will eat a milk bone if you give it to him. You know, he doesn't care, but it matters to my wife.
You know what else your dog will eat?
Oh yeah, we don't have to say that on air.
No. People get it.
Yeah, there are a lot of geese at the park across from our house, and so we have to walk quickly across that area.
All right, let's take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins is going to join us in studio a little bit earlier than usual here in just a minute, as we have some fun planned for you coming up here. He's got a friend who don't know the story, but we're going to find out about Ryan's friend and what situation they're in and how we might be able to help with said friend. Stick around. Ryan Wiggins, more Annie Fry Show right around the corner.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow. 97.1 is your home for independent thought. That's why 97.1 is the #1 talk station in St. Louis. It's the place for ideas in a country facing challenges like never before.
Don't miss the Second Amendment Great Outdoor Show this Saturday at 3 p.m. with Bo Matthews and Mark Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. Presented in part by Razorback Armory, St. Louis's top shop for everything guns and ammo. On Manchester and De Pere and RazorbackArmory.com.
So, thinking about renovating an area in your home and replacing the flooring, this is a huge opportunity to make a really big impact with and stretching the value of your dollar to do so. Think about that nice, comfy, cozy fall environment that you're creating in your home, the carpet that you want to put in there. I think the smell of carpet is like top 5 best smells ever, but the comfy, cozy running your feet over that carpet that's going to be so lush that you are going to freshen your home with. You want to make sure that you go to Michael's Flooring Outlet to do that. Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com has an amazing selection for you with the best customer sales staff in the business in the area. 3 locations that you can visit in person if you want to go check them out after igotfloor.com. After you look at their website, you can go to St. Charles County. You can visit them in West County. You can visit them in Darien Prairie as well. Ask them about their Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpeting. It's fabulous. And like I said, if you're going to make the opportunity to get the best value for your dollar, you're going to do that at Michael's Flooring Outlet. Visit them online at igotfloor.com.
When you have errands to run, do you like to run all over town or do you try to make as few stops as possible? It's nice when you can get everything in one place, isn't it? Hi, this is Lori Heisey, owner of Heisey Advisory Group. I believe the same is true for retirement planning. You shouldn't have to go to one place for tax planning, another place for investment planning, and another place for retirement income planning. That's why Ken and I started Heisey Advisory Group. We wanted to build a company that could help families with all aspects of their retirement planning. We're more than just convenient. We're knowledgeable, experienced, and we'd love to help you create a comprehensive retirement plan so you can retire with confidence. Call 314-328-6000 to schedule a visit with us to talk about all things retirement. That's 314-328-6000.
Firm offers insurance but does not provide tax or legal advice. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Petland in Lake St. Louis is a pet lover's dream. Mark Cox here. You need to go see my friends Tom and Mary and Jeff out there at Petland at 6131 Ronald Reagan Drive in Lake St. Louis. Anything you can imagine for your pet, they've got. It's a 9,000 square foot facility, recently remodeled, and on the back wall, they've got puppies. They work with only the top breeders in the state of Missouri, and you can apply for financing right online. Check them out today at petlandstl.com. Mark Cox here. If you are getting ready to jump into the hot housing market, you need a pro by your side. I want to recommend Gloria Liu with GL International Realty, part of the Caldwell Banker Premier Group. Check this out. Mike and Sherry needed to sell and buy their next home with no contingencies. So Gloria Liu presented her ready buyers and sold their fluorescent home in just one day at $14,000 over asking price. That made it possible for Mike and Sherry to move on without contingencies and have the best negotiated deal thanks to Gloria. This is why you need Gloria Liu on your side. She has the buyers and she pre-markets your home. That drives up the demand. Other agents are going to make big promises, hoping to find a buyer once they put a sign in your yard, not Gloria Liu. Call the realtor I trust and recommend. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 314-567-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blue.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't have. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Days are all filled with an easy country talk. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Excited to be with you once again. Hi, Ryan. You're back in studio.
Hi, Annie Fry Show.
I am now the show.
You are the Annie Fry Show.
We are the show.
We all are the show. The Big Show. That's a really old reference that people probably know from people doing impersonations.
The Big
of,
Show?
Yeah.
What is that from?
Really Big Show.
What is it from?
Ed Sullivan.
Oh.
Way, way back.
I was going to say. Either your impression is not so great or...
No, it's spot on.
No, there's probably a majority of people listening who did know that, and I'm sorry that I'm not one of them. That's a me thing, not a you thing.
Genie did it on Aladdin. He's got a really big show, really great show.
See,
here.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and this is the first time in my life that I knew that was supposed to be Ed.
That's what I mean.
But I can hear it.
Yeah, more people probably know it from impersonations of Ed Sullivan than at the actual Ed Sullivan show.
Since you brought up Aladdin and the genie, and this is a juxtaposition of multiple things in my life, of which I don't normally talk about. So do you know the story about Robin Williams as the genie? He was very hesitant to play the genie. Do you know this?
No, I didn't know this.
He did not want to play a character that was going to turn into some like marketing, like consumer driven.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
He was very hesitant to go into this role and to become something that was going to be used to sell things to people.
Okay.
And so on and so forth. But he did it. And thank God he did it.
Yes. I need Robin Williams as Genie because that just is.
I can't imagine anybody else doing
No.
that voice in that movie.
What about Will Smith?
No.
Oh my gosh. That was not good.
Is there a bigger money grab than the live action remakes of these classic Disney films that are all from our childhood? We're all in our late 30s. I mean, except for Ryan, he's in his 40s now. In him.
I'm in them.
You're on the other side of that hill.
I'm over.
What's it look like over there?
Grass is always greener.
No
I don't know which
you
side.
You just like to cut it more now than
no rain shadow.
No, one thing us 40-year-olds do is we just say a lot of platitudes that don't mean anything. Whatever floats your boat.
So, okay, I want to make sure I pull this story from somewhere that is a little more legit. The genie has a gripe with Disney. I got to read this real fast before the Los Angeles Times puts me behind a paywall.
Go back.
Yeah. What do you think? The genie has a gripe with Disney movies. Robin Williams goes public with his beef with Disney over Aladdin marketing and says he won't work for the mouse again. Doing little to disguise his anger and pulling on an imaginary nose, a la Pinocchio, accused the Walt Disney Company Wednesday of, this is from 1993, I might add. Obviously, it's not new. Wednesday of lying to him and breaching an agreement not to use his voice to merchandise products inspired by the hit animated film Aladdin. Williams, who won critical acclaim for his voice work as the chameleon-like wisecracking genie in the 1992 film, said it was too late for him to sue the studio, but said he was hurt and indicated he might not work for Disney again. So he didn't want to create this character that Disney would then, like, in perpetuity use to hawk things.
I respect Robin Williams' wishes in that. However, isn't that why you sign a contract? You know, in the contract, wouldn't you put, don't use this for toys? And not just say, Disney, please honor my wishes here, as if Disney's going to say, sure.
Disney executives would not comment on his remarks, but sources familiar with the dispute characterized Williams' comments as sour grapes because he was paid scale of $75,000 for his work on an animated film that went on to gross more than $200 million domestically. So Williams' comments came during an interview on the Today Show where he was interviewed as part of a segment designed to publicize Williams' latest film, Mrs. Doubtfire, a 20th Century Fox release, which doesn't even exist anymore. You realize now, when you work for Disney, why the mouse only has 4 fingers, because he can't pick up a check. So he was miffed about the way that his character and his voice and his participation that was going to be used in the future. Now, if you are a Disney World fan, or if you know one, I have a friend who is a Disney World fan. Don't at me, which is what the kids say. They have just created a new platform. Do you know about this yet?
I don't think so.
You should, because you're going to Disney World soon, right?
Yeah. Well, just me and my son. We're going to a soccer tournament. We're going to also go to Disney World.
Disney has created a new platform that's part of the app that you use to, like, navigate the theme park. And it's called Genie Plus.
Oh my.
And the entire thing is the idea. It's, you know, kind of behind the idea of, like, a genie grants you wishes. It's a dynamic app that will allow you to see, like, oh, if you're hungry for lunch, here are all of the lunch spots that you could go to that are located towards you right now and all of their open reservation times. Or if you're in the Magic Kingdom, here are the things that have low wait times right now. So if you get done with doing one thing, instead of, you know, moving around the map and trying to figure out what's where and what's what, it'll give you suggestions. And you can say ahead of time, we don't do thrill rides, or we only want thrill rides, or we're not interested in shows, or we love shows and no thrill rides, or whatever it is. And it will cater what it suggests to you based on what it knows about you. And it's called Genie Plus. So the entire new system, the way you navigate yourself around Walt Disney World, is now based on the Genie. And Robin Williams, rest in peace, his entire thing was, no, don't do this.
Well, they're not using his voice in the app, right?
No.
So they own the character.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
It's just kind of ironic.
Did you have to pay for the app? Was there a hubbub about that?
So that's the thing. The suggestions that it will make for you, that's free. It's just part of the thing. But they used to have a thing called Fast Pass. So they had 2 lanes, which is so funny to me when I'm there and I'm thinking about how this stuff all works in the conjunction, like the analogy of accessing something and being willing to pay something to get ahead in this line or that line, or to choose, this is my priority and I'm going to focus on this so that I can get to this place faster. And then when you get into another ride, because you would only have 3 times a day to plan ahead for a Fast Pass to access a ride, on some other rides, you might not have that ability because other people prioritized something different than you. So it's just, the way the world works is you make choices, and based on those choices, you have a different experience. That's life. They've taken that Fast Pass lane away, and now they're charging for it. And you can pay $15 a person. There's Disney Genie, and then there's Disney Genie Plus. You can pay $15 a person. Like for you and your son, I would do it because it's $30, and then you get to have a rolling access to what used to be known as Fast Passes to go in that shortcut line and access specific rides. But on top of that, even the super fancy rides that people want to ride, you have to pay an additional fee to access those.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It's obnoxious. And it very much so is going to price people out of the experience, which is frustrating and sad for me. It's a big conflict for me because Disney as a company makes a lot of woke decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But then the experiences that they offer are income accessible.
No, I get it. When we went down in November of last year, right during the election for no reason at all, that was just a dumb mistake because we were planning it months in advance.
My co-host went to Disney World for the election, and my producer got COVID.
Yeah, for the biggest election maybe of our lifetimes.
Now let me tell you about 2021.
Yeah.
I digress.
But when we were down there, I was texting with people who were like, "Oh, are you experiencing it? Oh my gosh!" And I was like, I don't get what the whole magic thing. It's a theme park, whatever. By the time I left, I started to understand why people like it, because you do kind of forget about everything else.
That's so valuable to me.
That's what you always say. Like it's this place to go where you can leave everything at home, and most vacations seem like that's what they should be. But for some reason, Disney has probably spent billions of dollars doing this, making it to where you're there, and they really kind of grab your attention and make you forget about the rest of the world. So they're good at that. So I get that.
So Kevin says on Facebook, sorry, but $7,000 for a family to afford to go to Disney. They price most people out who would like to go out of going. It does not cost $7,000 for a family of 4 to go to Disney. Like you can go to Disney for a lot less than that. The problem that I feel is cropping up here is that with each of these steps, you're getting a step further and away from the experience being accessible to a majority of people. But also Disney doesn't owe anything to anybody. They're business decisions.
Right.
And if you ask a lot of people who do go to Disney World, their number one biggest complaint is there are too many people there. So, like I've seen people say, you shouldn't price people out. This should be available to everybody, that you shouldn't have to be, a millionaire to be able to go to Disney. The truth is that this is a really nasty truth when you're talking about Disney World. And like what you were just saying, the ability to go there and it's fantasy is what it is. You were leaving the real world behind, and then, brace for impact when you get back into the real world. But the secret to what success Disney World and Disney has had is that they're really good at business. And you can let so many people into the park. And if they drastically increase prices and the crowds don't go down, what incentive do they have to not increase prices?
No, I couldn't agree with you more.
Well,
it makes you a little bit mad, but
it's the way it is.
And that's the way businesses thrive.
Would Disney continue to be able to offer the experience that Disney offers if they started making it accessible without cost? Because people who do go to Disney, there are people who save and save and save and sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. I mean, there's certainly things that my family doesn't do because we reallocate funds to be able to go to Disney World. We make those decisions based on what's good for our family. That doesn't mean that I have an enormous amount of expendable income. We have to work hard to provide that.
Yeah. It makes me wonder too, though, like you were talking about, what if they raise costs and then crowds do go down? Well, if they raise costs, but the crowds go down, are they providing a better experience for the crowds that do go and still not losing any money?
The provide a better experience does not matter until it costs them money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the truth. Now, if I go on to the Disney World Facebook groups that I might be on and be like, here's a lesson in economics, folks, they're all going to hate me. But I'm still going to be right.
No, you're still right. And because what would happen is, in a truly open economic society, capitalist society, you would have Disney World decide, well, then I'm also going to build a Disney World St. Louis and a Disney World Minneapolis. That's what Legoland is doing.
Mhm.
They're building Legolands all over the place because they're doing pretty well. And that's the way it should be. It just, if you're at the bottom of that, usually what that means is you're looking up instead of looking down. And because when you look down, when you're at the bottom, what you don't see is that rising tides lift all boats,
Mhm.
and that you're actually higher than you were because of that system. But there's always this temptation to look up and see what you don't got, because that's human nature.
Yeah. And you know, the standard with which Disney, like Legoland and Universal and all these places that are in the same market as Disney World, are going to be looking at Disney, and they're going to be making business decisions based on what Disney is doing, not how do we do what Disney is doing, but how do we do what Disney isn't doing? Like,
Mhm.
Disney offers this, you know, I'm putting in air quotes, this prime experience that is the very best of the best. How do we compete with that? It's not to try to be better than Disney at what they do best. It's to try to see what they aren't doing, which is maybe being affordable, more
Exactly.
accessible,
Exactly.
and maybe some of the experience, you know, you don't get the same experience. But if people can't afford what Disney has to offer, or if you offer a quality enough experience at a Universal or a SeaWorld or anywhere else, and it becomes affordable, and people go, I can go to Universal 5 times a year for what I could go to Disney and, you know, have to take out a loan to be able to go do that. I'm going to go to Universal. Who wins in that?
Yeah. Or any
Universal.
any other developer looking at Disney and going, oh my gosh, they're actually making 3 times more than they were 10 years ago. This business is getting bigger. I'm going to go build a park in Florida.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. That's why you have so many parks in Florida now.
Kevin says, I support capitalism and Disney's right to run their business model. I just will not pay that much. 100%, Kevin.
Exactly.
And it's absolutely your right to do that. You determine for you what the value of your dollar is and where it's worth it to spend it. Like, when I hear people talking about spending potentially 4 figures on tickets to go see the Rolling Stones, I'm going, what?
Yeah.
Why? Not my money.
Yep.
Not my experience, not my money, not my dollar to even value for somebody else. That experience means something to somebody else. And if they've earned the money, you go blow it on whatever you want to blow it on. I mean, it's always obnoxious to me. And in those Facebook groups that I'm in, where people are like, Disney should be available to everybody, and they're keeping the magic from people who can't afford it. And I like start writing comments, and I'm like, oh God, Annie, don't do it. Run away! Like, this is a bad idea. You're not going to change anyone's mind, and people are going to think you're the worst person in the world. So I just say it to you folks on the radio show. You can go talk to these people on Facebook and give them an economic lesson. All right. When we come back, Ryan has a friend who did something. How did you word it? You need to know if you did.
No.
If your friend.
You forget it now. Forget it. Oh, forget the whole segment.
No, not you.
Not my friend.
Your friend.
Definitely not you.
I need to know whether he made the right decision.
Or she.
Or she. It could have been a she.
Let's go with she.
Okay. We'll call her a she.
I'm sorry.
President She.
We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Rodney Boy, have you ever heard of Squid Game?
I missed the whole K-pop movement. I didn't even know it was happening, and it was selling out in St. Louis. And now I've missed the Squid, whatever it was, games. The next big Korean entertainment thing, I'm going to be ready for you, Mark.
Mornings 5 to 9.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with carrier cool cash rebates from $50 to $1,650 on qualifying new HVAC systems. And for a limited time, Air Comfort Service will double your cool cash rebate. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine
And
has
the thing I heard about the vaccine.
Sure, but do we really know about the long-term effects? Did you read that thing on the internet?
He heard from his cousin that they don't.
Okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines these days. So how do you find out if getting vaccinated is right for you? By talking to someone you already trust, your doctor or healthcare provider. They'll answer your questions so you can decide what's best for you and your family. Go to getvaccineanswers.org to find out more. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Lakeside Renovation and Design. Spent my late morning, early afternoon yesterday with Lakeside at my house. I have a lot of projects that I need to have done. And when I was talking with Bryant about my front door, which Lakeside Renovation and Design is super, super great at those exterior remodels, I said, I need to replace the front door. There's some rot at the bottom. Everything that we have in my house, for the most part, is basically builder grade because our house is about 20 years old. So everything is kind of starting to deteriorate at once. So we're looking at all these projects that we have to do. And I want Lakeside to come to my house and tell me what I need to do with my door, how to fix it. We have a back patio door that's going to need to be replaced. I had them look at my bathroom upstairs because the bathroom shower is so small in the master bath. I don't really understand the whole point of it. Going to Lakeside Renovation and Design and letting them take a look at what your needs are, they are so good at giving you amazing opportunities and solutions for your interior remodel or your exterior remodel. And let me tell you about the financing options. 12 months, 18 months, 0 interest. They can make sure they accommodate your needs to make it an affordable way to get this project going right now. Call my friends at Lakeside at 636-978-5000, 636-978-5000, lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
At Diamonds Direct, we never take you for granted. We understand you always have a choice. That's why this week, we want to take pause to say thank you. It's a yearly tradition our team looks forward to because we love showing you we care. And this commitment to you is why we offer free cleaning, free sizing, free maintenance for life with any purchase. It's also why we created our amazing 110% lifetime upgrade promise. So when you're ready to trade up to that center diamond, that pair of diamond studs, or that diamond solitaire pendant, we will give you 110% of your original purchase price to go toward your new diamond. That's 10% more than you paid us. Value, selection, and customer service are truly what set us apart. This weekend, let us show you our appreciation. Come say hello, take advantage of our unmatched services, and maybe upgrade or trade in your diamond and go bigger in honor of you, our valued customer. And thank you for allowing Diamonds Direct to be a part of your life's most precious moments today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I'm at a party I don't want to be at. And I don't ever wear
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Finish my drink, say, shall we dance? Hell yeah. You know I love you, did I ever tell you? You make it better like that. Don't think I fit in.
So, from what I hear, Ryan, you got a friend? Yes?
I have many friends.
Okay, so I got this friend who is definitely not me.
I got a friend
yeah.
who was backing out of a parking spot the other day. And it was one of those where it's not the angled ones. So you got cars coming from both directions.
A 90-degree park.
And she, was backing out between a big church van on the right and on the left, a fairly large SUV. So hard to see. So
what kind of church?
I don't remember the denomination, if that's what you're asking.
Your friend didn't?
I don't remember what she told me was the denomination.
Okay.
So backing out of this spot, and she decides, you know what would be a wise thing to do here is to back out really slowly since you can't see who's coming either way. So she does. And from the left side, she could see pretty far.
Yeah.
From the right side, can't see at all. So moving out very, very slowly. And I guess an old lady decided, I'm going to sneak around this person who's backing out who clearly can't see anything. And so my friend hit this old lady's car, but it was as if it was like scuffed because she was driving around it. Whose fault is that?
My husband and I had that exact same thing happen. Exact same thing happen at a St. Louis bread company off Brentwood.
That's funny because my friend is you. This is your story.
Yeah. There was no church van.
Oh.
A woman in a Jaguar came blazing into the parking lot. We were backing up in our Explorer, I think, and there was nobody around. She came in so fast that from the front of her car all the way to the back, like it didn't really dent it as much as, like you said, the graze, the scratch.
Yes.
She went so far. She was going so fast that she couldn't stop because she was like right past it or whatever. We got a ticket. And the insurance said it was our fault. Like, what were we supposed to do? I think it's totally bogus.
They issued a ticket while you were in a parking spot?
We were slowly moving out of the parking lot.
So, like, it's my understanding. So you were in a parking spot in a parking lot.
Yes.
In Illinois, it's my understanding.
I was in Missouri.
I can't speak to Missouri because I don't know, but in Illinois, it's my understanding that's private property, and that's up to the insurance companies to decide. There's not actually a ticket to be issued in that situation.
Well, that's interesting.
But in your
I have
case,
to check in with my husband and see if
in
we
your
did
friend's case, like when you're not, it's not legal to back out into a street.
Well, this was backing out into a parking lot. This wasn't into a street. This was into a parking lot. So here's where my friend's mind was. She said,
how could you possibly get into her brain?
Oh, we had a long discussion about this afterwards.
Ryan's clairvoyant.
Yeah.
I bet there was a discussion.
I inferred a lot too.
Emotionally volatile.
So she thought, okay, this is probably going to be my fault. And even if not, I want to try to make it right because my car is fine. Her car's not. It had scuffs on the back panel, just the back panel. She could have the other person could have easily avoided this, yet we'll take responsibility here. So she gets out of her car, walks up to the other car that she had pulled over, and she says, what do you want me to do here? I see that you have a scuff on your car. What would you like me to do? You want us to call insurance? You want us to do a police report? She said, the lady says, no, why don't you just give me some money?
Will a 5 cover it?
So I through my friend said,
this is kind of sketchy.
I mean, my friend was clearly distraught, so she called me over.
She's not even
she couldn't handle it.
No,
understanding her own gender.
She said, I need Ryan to speak for me. He talks on the radio. So she says to I'll say he because it's getting confusing with the people. he says to her,
confusing for whom?
I don't know. I don't know now. He says, well, normally if you want to get paid for this, we'll go through our insurance, we'll file a police report and all that. But it doesn't really look like the scuff is much. How about if I just pay for you to go to that car wash right there, and it would probably come off? And she says,
"This is what your friend said."
Yeah, and she's because it was right by a car wash, and she says, "No,
buff out.
No, I can't do that." And so my friend said, "Well, here," and so started scraping off the little scuff with his fingernail.
Her.
No, it's him now. And started scraping it off and was like, look, that's actually a part of my bumper. That's just the paint for my bumper. It's going to come off in the car wash for sure. If I can sit here and peel it off with my hand, the car wash is going to get this thing off. And there's no other damage. So she says, no, I'd really rather you pay me.
What did she give you? Did she give your friend a dollar amount?
No. I said, no, well, it's one of two. Either we file a police report or I just pay for you to go through the car wash. And she's like, neither one of those things is going to work for me. So my friend sat there and scratched the entire scuff off with his fingernail over the span of about 15 minutes. And the car is fine.
Completely fine?
Completely fine. Who's in the right? What should have been done?
I think that if you're offering for a police report, like if your friend was offering for the police report to be filed, right?
Yeah.
And they were refusing.
Yes.
I almost think at that point, your friend did more than necessary.
That's what I would have thought too.
If your friend was not the one saying, no, we can't call the police. Why does this person that you hit not want the police to be called?
Yeah, I don't know. She kept saying how attractive my friend was.
Oh,
that was another thing that was weird.
Ryan.
She was like, are you married? And the friend was like, well, yeah,
which
lady.
is kind of strange because this woman changed genders
right in the middle of the story. It was weird, wasn't it?
This is wild.
It was a weird story.
We want to know in the live chat, Facebook or YouTube, what should Ryan's friend have done? Stick around, more Annie Fry Show in a minute.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'm Thomas Helbig, founder of the Retirement Advisory Group. When I meet my clients for the first time, they have built up a life savings. Their question is, what can I do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then we design your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money. You've earned it, and it's my job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You'll receive a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 35 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's online at retirementkey.com.
Create your dream ring with one of Shane Company's unique gold or platinum settings and add the loose center natural diamond or gemstone of your choice. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
George Weber, if you want music on the radio like it used to be, where the DJs played what they wanted and then talked about it, tune in to my alter ego, Skip Weber, every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on the Saturday Evening Rock Show, the greatest music show on a talk station in the world.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
This is a Fox News alert. Now we know how Gabby Petito was killed. Lisa Brady, the Teton County coroner in Wyoming, just confirming Petito was strangled, releasing more information from the autopsy conducted last month after the missing traveler was found dead, weeks after her now missing boyfriend traveled home to Florida without her. They're also estimating the time of death, 3 to 4 weeks before Petito's body was found on September 19th.
The last known sighting of her was at a Tex-Mex restaurant in Jackson on August 27th, where witnesses say they saw her arguing with her fiance and travel partner, Brian Laundrie, who's still missing. And he was also arguing with restaurant staff that day, according to some patrons. That's roughly 30 miles down the road within the Spread Creek campground site and near where a fellow travel blogger has spotted her white van in that critical time frame of when the couple was last seen.
Fox's Laura Ingle. Laundrie remains a person of interest and wanted by the FBI on a bank fraud warrant. The U.S. Navy just announcing the remains of 5 people and the wreckage of a Navy helicopter have been recovered from a depth of more than 5,000 feet off the coast of California, where the chopper crashed in the Pacific August 31st. 1 crew member was rescued immediately after the crash, but 2 pilots and 3 other sailors were lost. That crash remains under investigation. The only Democrat in Kentucky's congressional delegation, Representative John Yarmouth, is retiring.
This term will be my last. While I am in excellent health, knock on wood, I know the significant physical demands of the job will only become more challenging. I will be 75 when my current term ends.
His 8th term will end next year. Yarmouth pledging to keep fighting for progressive values on his way out. He chairs the House Budget Committee. America is listening to Fox News.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate, with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Here's a fact. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer. Also a fact, vaccines are highly effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths, even from the Delta variant. If you've got questions about COVID vaccines, talk to a doctor, because our kids are irreplaceable. We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Little dome of high pressure and a nice afternoon around town. Sunshine in control, 78 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, though clouds will be increasing. Some showers developing, mainly late night, 60 after midnight. Wednesday, cloudy, windy periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms, 79, 80. Keep some showers and thunderstorms around Thursday and Friday, though it's cooler. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, cancel culture is not some new phenomenon.
The erasing of conservative thought.
It's something that we've actually seen occur throughout history.
Toe the line or get canceled.
These policies are what the science tells us we need to do.
It won't happen here.
Get out of the way of progress.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
We need to somehow come together as much as we can, and you are not helping with that.
Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically improve your net worth? What if you could do it virtually overnight? Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Do it today and tomorrow. You could start living the good life. Financialwormholes.com.
There aren't too many dentists that your kids are going to beg to go back to, but that's what my kids do. I think because Dr. Ty Parker, Fountains Family Dentistry, they give your kids a little gift bag on your way out that has cool toothbrushes and stuff like that in them. And we praise them so much. And they do this too. for going to see the dentist, that they view it as a positive experience. So you will too. If they can handle my kids who are 7, 7, and 4, they can handle you. Even if you have dental anxiety or you don't have time. Those are two very different things. If you have dental anxiety, these are super nice people and they will treat you like a kid. And if you don't have time, they will treat you with the utmost respect in that area too, because they have hours that are early on some days, late on some days, to accommodate everybody's schedule. Check them out. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Even if you don't live in Illinois, they're worth the drive and they're easy to get to. They're right off of Highway 64 and 159. Look them up online, or you can find them anytime at their website, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
There's a silent disease plaguing Missouri, and it affects 1 in 5 Americans over 60. It's called PAD, short for peripheral artery disease. Symptoms include leg cramps and numbness, cold feet, and foot sores that don't heal. Left untreated, PAD can result in limb amputation and shortened life expectancy. Modern Vascular has opened a new clinic in St. Louis and is now helping patients in our region treat their PAD using minimally invasive, state-of-the-art procedures. All patients are seen in a sanitized outpatient facility by doctors and medical staff that specialize in lower leg revascularization down to the toe, and Modern Vascular accepts most insurances. Your leg pain could be an early warning. Listen to it. Visit modernvascular.com and take an easy online quiz to determine your risk level. A nurse is available now to answer your questions by phone. Visit modernvascular.com.
Your fall cleanup list could be long and daunting, so don't allow those worn-out windows to drag you down. New windows from Universal Windows Direct will make cleaning a breeze and allow you more time for you. Universal Windows Direct windows will save you tons of money and come with a true lifetime warranty. So call now to schedule your personal estimate and take advantage of our buy one, get one free and pay nothing for 2 years. And you too will be saying, I love my windows. Call 314-334-2522 or online at universalwindowsdirect.com.
Universal Windows Direct. Do you think that you've missed your chance to sell your home because spring and summer are gone? Well, not to worry. September, October, and November are historically fantastic months to sell a home in St. Louis. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and with inventory so low, now is the perfect time to talk about listing your home. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-all-4s.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Right now, you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Fry Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married to sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married to sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for being here with us. I hope that you are enjoying the come down from a riveting Columbus Day. Brian, how did your family commemorate the day?
We didn't do as much as we normally do to reflect on the day. I'm making
how much do you normally
every
do?
word that's coming out of my mouth is made up based on the previous word. I had no idea how that sentence was going to end when I started it.
I know what that's like. I wonder how this is going to go.
Yeah.
It's weird when you are listening to your own radio show happen and going, oh,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Who knew?
That's why I laugh at my own jokes so much.
Well,
I don't know what's happening. Hey, that was kind of funny.
That's why. Okay. So, I was talking with Illinois State Senator Terri Bryant earlier in the show, 1225. And I just am, as an observer, specifically in Illinois, we have our own thing. But if you're living in St. Louis City, if you're living in St. Louis County, if you're paying attention to what's going on across the country, heck, you're living in the United States of America and your president is Joe Biden. Newsflash, he is your president. You don't get to say he's not your president. He's your president. Guess what? Before that, Donald Trump was also your president. You don't get to abstain unless you leave, which is what they always promise, and they never follow through on. Maybe if we created like a left island and a right island. China does that, don't they? Don't they create land?
Yes.
I mean, I'm serious.
No, you're right. They create islands in the South China Sea.
We should do that. We should have a Republican island and a Democrat island so that with enough anger and vitriol, people can move offshore and we just like charge a fee. And then they get to go live over there while they hate their president. And
agree. We'll get the lower 48 plus Alaska and Hawaii. They can live on a small island in the South China Sea.
I think we're the ones moving at this point in time. So I've been watching a little bit, as everybody is, because this story continues to make its way into the mainstream media. The governor race in Virginia.
Yes.
Terri McAuliffe, you familiar with this race?
Following it enough, yeah.
So Brad came across this sound today, and I mean, it's really, really shocking. He is the former governor of Virginia, and he's running again for re-election. He was the governor from 2014 to 2018. I heard Brett Baer saying today on Fox News on Outnumbered that Virginia had a Democrat governor in 2008, I guess it was. And then that was right in the beginning of the Obama, reign. And the Virginia governorship transferred from Democrat control to Republican control. And what Brett Baer said was this was the canary in the coal mine for what took place in 2010, which, if you remember Barack Obama, he specifically called that a shellacking.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see the shellacking 2022.
So you're saying you think this is a canary in the coal mine, or at least an indicator for what's going to happen in the midterms?
Potentially.
I do too. I think Virginia is close enough. I still don't know if Republicans can pull off a victory in Virginia, but
Biden won Virginia by 10 points.
The fact that it's this close says a lot.
So let's pay attention to it. Listen to him on CRT.
How do you define it?
Anita, it is not taught here in Virginia.
But how do you define it?
Doesn't matter. It's not taught here in Virginia, so I'm not going to spend my time
on what it is.
I'm not even spending my time because the school board and everyone else has come out and said it's not taught. It's racist. It's a dog whistle.
But if we don't have a definition, how can we say it's racist? I just want a definition from you.
It's not taught here in Virginia. We can ask about any topic. Here's what I've said all along, and it really bothers me. It really bothers me. This whole idea of stern.
No, it bombed out. Do you hear how many times he says he diverts from the question?
Mm-hmm.
What is CRT? It doesn't matter what CRT is because CRT isn't being taught.
How do you define it?
It's not taught here in Virginia. We can ask about any topic. Here's what I've said all along, and it really bothers me. It really bothers me. This whole idea of stirring parents up to create divisions. Our children are going through such challenges today because of COVID, and we're talking about something here today, wasting precious viewers' time.
Does it matter what CRT is? If he's going to say he says the teachers say it's not being taught here and is pressed 4 times by this anchor. I don't know if this matters or not, but she is an African-American woman saying, tell us what CRT is. He can't define it. Is that concerning?
This is McAuliffe, right?
Yeah.
Speaking. This is another sort of canary in the coal mine issue that a Democrat possible governor of Virginia won't answer that question, won't support it. That's a good thing. That means that we who are against CRT being taught in schools are winning that battle, I think. That's not really an answer to your question.
He talks about critical race theory. He talks about having these parents' meetings on critical race theory. It really bothers me because it is a racist dog whistle.
So now you can't even ask questions about the existence of CRT. We're supposed to take the hopeful governor's word that it's not being taught. And if you're there to say, what is it? You are invoking a racist dog whistle by asking the question, could you please tell me what CRT is? That's crazy. That's really ridiculous to think that you'd have a person who's running for governor who won't take a position. What he's doing there as a politician is he's not saying that CRT is good. He's not saying CRT is bad. He's saying we're not even going to talk about that here because bringing up the subject of CRT in and of itself is a racist dog whistle. And he's doing what politicians often do, is pulling out some sort of stated fact that he can repeat so he doesn't bear the responsibility of the statement. The teachers are saying it's not being taught. So it's not being taught. End of story. How can he say that the bringing up of it is a racist dog whistle when he's being asked by a black woman on a news program to address the concern that a lot of parents and taxpayers have about the presence of CRT in the classroom?
Yeah, getting past the issue, that's a terrible answer because that's like asking DeSantis, hey, a hurricane hasn't hit this part of Florida in like 3 years. What are you going to do in case of a hurricane? Well, one hasn't hit here in 3 years. Like, it's coming to Virginia. This is an issue that everybody's going to have to deal with, even if you're not currently dealing with it. So why pretend we're not even? That's way beyond us. We don't even deal with CRT in this state.
Well, my question is how can you even say that it's not being taught there if you can't even define what it is? If you don't know what you're looking at, it could very well be being taught in Virginia, and those teachers are lying to you.
I don't give him or any politician enough credit to suggest that I think it's giving him too much credit to suggest that he doesn't know what it is.
Do you think he doesn't know?
No, I think he knows.
I think he knows too.
I think that he knows to look at so often the thing right in front of you. I mean, just look at what Joe Biden is doing as the president of the United States and what he's not doing as the president. Do you think that Joe Biden looks at the southern border and goes, oh, that's completely fine? No, he knows that it's not right. In any whatever mental state that Joe Biden is in, he knows that what is going on at the southern border will, to quote his predecessor, fundamentally transform the United States of America. He knows that that's going on. He doesn't think that it's okay. His action is not based on ignorance. That lets them off the hook. Like if you don't, here's an example. In like your normal life, have you ever been in a situation or a scenario? Maybe it's a professional situation or scenario. Could be personal amongst friends, where there was a disagreement or a dispute. If it's professional, maybe there's a dispute between you and a superior, or between you and somebody who works for you, or you and another department, whatever. There's a dispute. And to an extent, it becomes one person's word versus the other person's word. Depending on the scenario, depending on who ranks where, and are decisions made by a boss and a corporation, or are they made by some, volunteer board and, a staff of, I think local churches probably have a lot of this, especially if they're connected with entities like schools or parishes or something like that, where you get into a situation where there might be conflict between two groups. And it's well-meaning people, you would assume, who are trying to say, well, this is the circumstance that's in front of us. How do we rectify this situation for the common good of the entity that we're working for? That's best case scenario, right? So when you find out that there is a conflict and a pull between you and your employer, and you try to go advocate for yourself, if people are willing to listen and see your side of things, they're going to go, oh, well, I didn't have that information before. I see where the conflict existed, but your piece of information to the context of this greater story helps make things more sense. Sometimes there's the case where those two entities are so far apart that the whole story doesn't get told. And there will be people who will be pulled in to the antagonist in this situation, maybe the employer, who will believe that you did something bad or that you didn't do something you were supposed to. Because the information, the full story that they have been given, is a partial version of the story. Those people don't have the facts, maybe aren't pursuing the facts, to understand the entire context of what happened. And they will make decisions based on that. Or maybe they're being misled or lied to. You know, you can be in a situation amongst friends where maybe you have a friend who is having a relationship situation. Maybe there was an affair or something that was involved, and it all becomes this he said, she said, and who do you believe and who do you trust? And everybody's trying to put together the full information, but there's always more to the story. There are people who are going to believe wholeheartedly that they are engaging upon what is right and what is good based on the set of facts that they have. And if they just don't have the full story, that's ignorance. That's what ignorance is. They haven't been given, or they haven't sought out, or they've been misled or lied to. And they go forward and they make a decision based on the body of information that they have in their head. Those people might be made aware down the road to a new fact, a new piece of the puzzle that makes them go, oh, that changes everything. This is what politicians win elections on. They manage the part of the story that you, as the voter, as the information consumer, they manage the part that you are exposed to, and they work like hell to make sure that you don't get the rest of the story, because their biggest fear is that you think for yourself. They want you to be exposed to the things and the information and the fact story that they have so that they can affect the way you think. And sometimes that means that if you have 3 facts out of the 5 facts, that you will go one direction on an issue. And if they work really hard to suppress those other 2 facts, they'll win you over, which is a vote, which is what they want. That's how they retain power. The fact that you could look at something like what Terri McAuliffe is saying there and think, well, he's taking this act, he's calling people racist based on CRT, doesn't even know what CRT is. That's giving him too much credit. He knows what it is, and he knows politically he can't be for it or against it because he's in an election cycle, and he needs the people listening to that and seeing that video to be able to infer what they want to infer without him specifically saying one thing or the other so that he can win support. It's only and totally about power. And usually in those personal circumstances that happen in our lives, whether it's in a, if you're friends with another couple and they're having trouble and everybody's trying to put the pieces together to figure out what the real truth is, that's usually a power struggle amongst the couple and maybe anybody else who might be involved. If it's an employment situation and you have a really bad boss that is working really hard to make sure that people don't find out what the full end of the story is, that's a power struggle with a little bit of ineptitude and ignorance mixed into it, of course. In politics, people are smarter than that. That's how they get to the point where they're running. And if they are acting like they don't know something, the likelihood that they do know about it and they've already processed in their brains, this is how I have to handle this so that other people in their own ignorance can consume this. That's what good politicians do. And you have to be a good politician to get to Terri McAuliffe's level.
In that particular clip, I think he was trying to appeal to not trying to appeal to 50% and alienate 50% and trying to appeal to 100%, but ended up doing the exact opposite and appealing to 0%. I just think that was a bad move.
Yeah.
But you can see exactly what you're saying. That's what he was trying to do, though.
He's politicking.
Yes.
And politicking is only ever good for the person who's trying to win an election. Politics is the opposite of policy. Policy is what we need politicians to do for us. And politicking is what they need us to do for them. And that's what they care about, in large part. Quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show right around the corner. Reminder that you can stream us live. You can watch the show on our webcam feed, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, Annie Frey YouTube channel, Twitch, Annie Frey Show on Twitter. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. Threatening, throttling, or outright censorship. Not here. This is the place for ideas. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service and Environmental Resources. At Hansen's, we manufacture a full line of garden and landscape products that are perfect for your outdoor project. Pick up any of our products at World Outdoor Emporium, Kirkwood Materials, or a Hansen's location near you.
We've done it again.
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 314-567-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
From the pitch swung a little too soon, to the joke told at the wrong time, to barely missing your connecting flight, timing is everything. The same can be true for your Social Security benefits. Take them too soon, and you could leave a lot of money on the table. Take them too late, and you might spend down too much of your savings. Everybody's situation is different, but taking your Social Security benefits at the right time is important for your retirement success. Heisey Advisory Group and our team understand Social Security and can help you make decisions that are best for you and your retirement dreams. Call Heisey Advisory Group today at 314-328-6000 to start optimizing your benefits. With Social Security, timing is everything, so don't delay. Call 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Menards has everything you need to give your bathroom an updated look. Check out our great selection of Dakota vanities. They feature generous interior storage in a variety of styles and finishes to choose from. Save with 11% off all Dakota vanities. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through October 16th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visits your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Let's not make it harder than it has to be.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's Tuesday. We're glad you're here. And the Mark Reardon Show is coming up at 3. And we have a visitor, Mark Reardon, in studio with us. Hi, Mark. We'll try that again.
Oh,
There
I'm
you go.
supposed to turn my own mic on when I'm a guest. I forgot
you
about
turn
that.
your own mic on in
Sorry,
your show.
operator error.
Yeah, sorry. So Mark, I saw you tweet this out, I guess maybe within the last 24 hours, and it's something that is personal to me because I've had a similar experience. But you're going to talk about this today at 3:00 once your show starts. Tell us just enough about what happened so that people can know to listen.
Yeah,
to
so
3.
I started with this yesterday. I did tweet about it early yesterday morning. We woke up at, getting my daughter on the bus. My wife gets her on the bus at 8:00. I was actually still sleeping, which was a little rare, but I'd gone to bed very late the night before. I'm like, I'm going to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
She busts into the room right after Alexa gets on the bus and says, our car is gone. I'm like, oh, okay.
Say that again and slower.
Right. So, we discovered it was stolen. I'll get into some more of the details at 3:05, but there has been a recovery of the stolen vehicle. That is all I will say right now. I'll share the details. I think it's interesting because, as you know, we were just talking here during the break about your experience, Annie, but there's some lessons here for everyone because this stuff is becoming a lot more predominant in the county, in an area in Illinois like where you live.
Mhm.
And I found out some information from the officers that were working on this, and I appreciate St. Louis City and St. Louis County kind of working on this, and I'll share some more of the details. But it's been eye-opening. There's no doubt about it.
So at 3:00 today, when,
Yeah, right.
when you
we'll
open the
kick
mic,
off the show with this, just some details about it. People joked about this yesterday, and to a certain extent, it's true. This is all show prep for us as well, so it gives me things to talk about. I am kind of glad, that
therapy
it's
too,
getting
to
resolved.
be able to get a little bit off your chest. Because for people who don't have that outlet, you want to scream when something like this happens. Because when it happened to me, I was a backstage person in the radio industry. Nobody knew or cared who I was. Not that anyone probably does right now either, but you have a platform to talk about this. This is probably going to hit home to a lot more people than we even realize.
It's been amazing, just the reaction from people. A couple of folks have hit me on Facebook Messenger and Instagram, just sort of relating their stories and asking. When I lived in the city years ago, I've been out of the city maybe almost 10 years now, but I lived in South City, not too far from where Sue Thomas lives right now. Beautiful neighborhood in Holly Hills. But I was a crime victim multiple times. One time I came home from doing my show on KMOX. It was a little after 6:00, and I opened my door. We weren't going in the back door where the garage was detached, so we would always go in the front door. I opened the front door. I took a step in. I had this old Pottery Barn table that was cool because it opened up and you can store things in it. Well, the latch of that table was open. That was the first thing I saw.
Ooh.
And then I looked to my right, and I had just gotten my first flat screen TV. So I had like an old Samsung that weighed 300 pounds. I have a theory about this, by the way. I'll circle back to it. And it was my first flat screen. I don't even remember how big it was. Probably not that big, 45 inches or something like that. It was gone. And everything else in my house was gone. And they took anything of value. Now, it was interesting because I sold that TV on Craigslist, all right, the old TV. So I had two theories. Maybe the people that came over were, that's a pretty good way to find out if someone's got new stuff. But I also had a DirecTV guy in my house that knew everything about my schedule. And the only thing that wasn't taken was the DirecTV box. The only thing, the DirecTV, and that's how I knew exactly when the crime took place too. They knew I was on the air at 2. They came in at 2:15. I mean, it was all these things. Never found anyone that was responsible for that, but that happened. We were hit cars a couple of times, garage. It was not fun, but here I am, a suburban crime victim as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where crime seems to be moving. It certainly is. We've had Tom Hain, the state's attorney in Madison County, on the show about their Cross River task force because they're trying to collect together all of these different departments along with state police to make sure that they can, circle around these things and really get a hold on it because there's a lot of people coming from the Missouri side of the river, hidden over on 270, hitting a lot of these neighborhoods. They get back on across the river and then what, So
I will say this, and I'll emphasize this at 3:00. I think that the cops, the St. Louis County police officers that I was working with, the city officer detectives that I was working with, they're doing their job. They want to find these guys. They're absolutely aggressively looking as much as they can. I mean, I know that the county officer was telling me he's got some other things that he's following up on today, just along the same lines. But I bring that up because I think you have to really question whether or not Wesley Bell or Kim Gardner is going to prosecute anything, right? So these are, Andy.
Yeah, what's the hindrance to doing it again?
These young African-American men that are stealing cars, they're just troubled youth. We have to understand that they're a product of the system, and it's somehow my fault and your fault that they're robbing in stealing cars. So just that's what Wesley Bell thinks. So I wouldn't even if they find this person, you think they're going to be prosecuted? I do not, but we'll see. But that would, if I'm the cops, that would piss me off because I'm doing my job
And
trying
you're
to find the
risking
bad
your
guys.
life to get to the. I mean, it's not just like, oh, we found him, there he is, bring him in. It's not that simple.
Right.
It's hazardous.
Well, and that's another lesson here. And I've heard several stories from people who have encountered some thieves in the act of thievery and they've tried to do something about it. That is a bad decision because they've got, and I was told this by these detectives, they've got these guys on camera. And I saw my, security camera, the Ring camera. You can see them in the driveways, but they got guns on the street. They're ready in case something happens.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. So just be careful. But I have a little update, hopefully a
3 o'clock.
positive ending to this just after 3.
3 o'clock. Thanks, Mark. Good to have
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
We'll be listening. The Mark Reardon Show following up right after we wrap up here. Have you guys ever experienced any sort of crime? I mean, not like your friend who's just backing into people on that.
Not that kind of crime.
That door.
I know.
It's like a Halloween
Creakiest
door.
door. Nobody can hear about it.
Have you experienced any like event like that in your life?
I've only had 2 very minor robberies happen to me. One of them was in the city of St. Louis when I used to work on Kings Highway. Somebody stole the sticker off my license plate. And it was the smallest thing, but it just made me so mad.
Yeah.
And then somebody, I think, opened my, when I was younger, so crime seemed like that's something other people deal with. That I, at the time, I think left my doors open in my car. And so somebody probably just walked by my car one time when I lived on Main Street and just opened up the door and stole all my change. And I'm like,
there's some toll booths in the future.
Yeah, but it's pretty minor. So I haven't had big things, but even those 2 things made me so mad at the injustice of it that somebody could steal what's not theirs. I mean, that's what stealing is. But when it happens to you, you're like, I feel more than just robbed. I feel violated.
Brad, have you?
Does having a homeless person fall asleep in your truck count?
Like in your truck bed or like got in?
No, like across the seats in my truck.
How did they get in?
So this is my work truck, and the older trucks have the vent windows that push in. The vent
It's
window,
really a little person.
the vent
crawl through
window
the window?
wasn't locked all the way, and so you can just reach down and grab the handle. It doesn't matter if it was locked or
Yeah.
not. And I only know this because I caught him sleeping in my truck.
What'd you do?
I banged on the glass and screamed at him, "What are you doing in my truck?" There's a thing they call command presence, and you have to use that whenever somebody's there. So I knew that I had the upper hand because he was asleep, out like a light. Like I remember walking up to my truck and looking like I don't remember laying a t-shirt across the seat of my truck. And then
With
there
a
was
man in it.
Yeah, then there was I get a little bit closer. It's like there's a man laying across the seat of my truck. So I banged on the glass and what are you doing in my truck? And he sat up and he was looking around and didn't know what was going on or anything like that. And basically I got him out of my truck, told him to get out of my truck. He stood on the other side of the truck. I was like, "Are you wearing my hat?" "Yes, sir." Is that my mask? "Are you wearing my mask?"
This
"Yes,
is
sir."
recently?
This was during COVID. This is 2020.
It's not like a catcher's mask.
This was in the parking lot.
Are you wearing
Wait
my
a
hockey
second,
mask?
that's Ryan Wiggins.
Are you Jason?
Yeah. This was in the parking lot of my church. I was parking my truck
Oh.
in the parking lot of my church overnight.
Why was he wearing your mask?
Because he just grabbed everything that he could out of the truck and filled
shoved it onto
pocket.
his face.
Yeah, put it on him. I mean, you laugh,
the
but he was
least-
wearing my gloves. He had my hat on. He had a
The
face
least
mask.
likely way to combat COVID is to put somebody else's mask on from their car.
His shoes didn't have soles on them, so I
Oh.
don't think he was super concerned with COVID.
Yeah.
But I got him out of the truck and made him empty his pockets.
Wait. He was still wearing shoes though that
Yes,
didn't have
they were-
bottoms?
They were like bowling shoes, and the soles were gone, and it was just like that little leather.
I don't know why that fact
Whatever.
intrigued me, but
Yeah,
That's all
I
you
mean,
got.
in hindsight, I feel really bad for the guy because what situation got him into that? But still, don't get into my truck and steal stuff from me. And I could see that he had gone through everything, any glove box, any
Ask for
pocket.
help. Don't take it.
Right. And so he gets out and I make him put everything back. And then he's asks me, he goes, "Well, can you help me out in any way? I'm just hungry." And I was like, "Look, if you had not got into my truck and tried to steal from me, I would have helped you out." I said, "But I'm letting you go without calling the police.
Mhm.
And that should be good enough for you." "Yes, sir." And he walked away.
You walked away.
But that was, but man, talk about being on edge.
You talk about commanding presence. When I had my car stolen from me, it was 2012. Like I said, it was the middle of the day. There were people everywhere. And I had just pulled the pump out of the car, and it was a beautiful April day, and I had my windows rolled down in the front seat and in the passenger seat, and it was a sedan. And I didn't have my keys in the ignition. I had them in the cup holder, and my purse was sitting on the passenger seat, and the window was open. And the commanding presence that my 7.5-month pregnant body brought was yelling to get out of my car, maybe with an expletive or two involved. But he didn't listen, and he was, fumbling with the keys and trying to get the car started. And being pregnant, I probably was yelling for about 10 to 15 seconds, screaming at him to get out of the car. And then I had the presence of mind that there was a second person who had pulled up on the other side of the pump with me. And I'm like halfway, I'm not hanging in the car, but I'm like leaning into the car, screaming at this person, like that's going to make him go, oh, I'm sorry.
Pregnant lady.
Yeah. She looks scary. Oh, she is. So I backed off and kept yelling, and then he just peeled off, and I just watched my car drive away with everything in it, like my wallet with my license, with my home address on it, all my car seat kid stuff that I had in there, my laptop. I had a camera that had photos on it from a wedding that my son had been in the ring bearer in the weekend before, just driving away. And then probably about 18 months later, the detectives came back. They called me, and they're like, we think we know who was involved in, they wouldn't call it a carjacking because they didn't remove me from the vehicle. So I'm like, I was like, what? It's what it was to me. Like, technically, it's not a carjacking. I don't remember what it was, just auto theft. And they said, we think we know who it was. We'd like you to look at a lineup. Well, they brought a printed out paper lineup to the radio station office. And I went and sat there with my coworker who also was in digital, who like went with me because I was kind of freaked out about the whole thing. And they showed me what I remember to be like 7 or so pictures, and I picked them out. It was like 18 months later, I was able to pick this guy out. And they said that the person who I picked, I was able to quickly eliminate all but 2 of them. And I said, I believe it's this person, and this is who I'm choosing. They said, that's who we think it is. And he was currently on trial, I believe, for brandishing a weapon against another woman in an auto theft situation. Like, I never saw a gun myself, but I don't think that I was enough of a threat to have to do that. Pretty ripe for the picking. And the entire time they were looking for my car, and afterwards, it just wasn't a priority. And it's not that it wasn't a priority. Like, it's not like the cops didn't care. Their hands are so full.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you factor in like what Mark Reardon is saying, the repercussions for these individuals who get reprimanded and taken into custody, why are we out there putting our law enforcement in harm's way for nothing to happen to these people? And if they get off the hook this time, what's going to stop them from doing it again? Nothing. And until it really happens to you, you don't really realize how violating it does feel to have somebody just inject themselves into your life with such arrogance. It's very unsettling. So that sucks. I saw Mark Reardon tweeted that. You should follow him on Twitter also. So I'm going to be excited to listen right after the show gets over here. He'll be taking over. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner. Join us on the live stream. We would be happy to have you there. And don't forget, you can subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast, wherever you get podcasts from. But if you're new to podcasting, download the Odyssey app, and you can find us there. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
Michael Goodwin is back with us this afternoon from the New York Post.
If the president is unpopular and viewed as weak and incompetent, then how is the party going to withstand that in the midterms?
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for free HVAC estimates, visit aircomfortservice.com.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows, it seems, installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
STS Armory, my gun shop in Illinois. Would you please go visit them and tell them Annie sent you? They're located in Pontoon Beach, but you can find them right now online, sts-armory.com. Think about your Second Amendment. Think about your ability to protect yourself. Do you feel accommodated? Do you have a place you can go when you're in the market for a new firearm? Or maybe you have a situation, maybe you have something that you like, but you want some advice on it. Katie and Jesse Johnson, the owners, they are crazy passionate about the Second Amendment and helping you exercise yours. And their business is catered around you. They are going to help you work within a budget. They are going to help you with all the training that you're going to need to be very accommodated and be very knowledgeable and experienced in using your firearm and understanding what it's like to have one, on your person or in your home. If you have children in your home, they have firearm safety for the whole family. STS Armory is there for you to meet your needs. And if you are looking for your people, you can find them at STS Armory. That's where I have found mine. 618-931-4867, 618-931-4867, sts-armory.com.
Diamonds Direct has enough diamonds right now to supply up to 30 ordinary jewelry stores, from a half carat to 10 carats. Rare, precious diamonds in all shapes, straight from the world's best diamond cutters. At Diamonds Direct, diamonds are our business, our specialty, our focus. That's why we can guarantee the best diamond selection and the best diamond prices every day, every week, every year. Diamonds Direct. Get store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
It's a tough, tight real estate market, and it's not getting any easier. Very fast-paced. You need a team of agents you can trust to navigate through the offers and leverage the best deal with the highest return. And that's the Gelman team. Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. They've been friends of mine for about a dozen years. I put them to work, though, 4 years ago to sell my home and find my wife and I our next home, and they succeeded. Now, that was a tight market then. Now it's even worse. Complex, multiple offers. You need agents you can trust to get you through those offers and leverage the best deal with the highest return. Maybe you're ready to sell your home, but you're worried about finding your next home. Well, the Gelmans have a program to buy your new home even before you list your current home. In selling a home, luxury is not a price point. It's an experience. And Mark and Neil Gelman from eXp Realty know that. Everyone gets the same marketing that sells more homes over $400,000 in the St. Louis area. Check out the Gelman team today at thegelmanteam.com or just call 314-336-1991. The Gelman team of eXp Realty.
Son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at soundedouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Hurry in to get the camper of your dreams before it's gone. At Coleman's Campers, our knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you find the right camper. If we don't have the camper you want, we'll gladly order your dream camper for you. Coleman's Campers in Hartford, Illinois, where customers become friends.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back. Trish is in here. Hey, do you guys, Brian, you have your kids' Halloween costumes?
Yeah, we do.
Do you and your wife dress up for Halloween?
We have in the past, but we're real lazy about it.
Is that ever your idea?
No. Well, not really.
Oblige?
Yeah, we just kind of go with, if there's an event and you have to dress up, we'll do it. but we have a couple of go-to costumes. One of them, if you want to know,
I'm already disappointed.
is a giant, legit 1988 California raisin.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
heard it
Yeah.
through the grapevine.
That's fantastic.
Trisha, do you dress up for anything?
No.
Are you an anti-dresser upper?
No. Just not motivated to
If
do
you
it.
go to a costume party, are you like into that?
No, I mean, I guess I don't know. Nobody invites me to costume parties.
I'm sorry
and
that
I don't have
brought that up.
children.
I only
so-
go to masquerade parties with the super elite. And you're required to dress up for those.
Oh yeah, for those I dress
For
up.
those,
Yeah, no. I
I've
thought
seen you
meant,
there.
like,
I thought,
just,
but you're
like,
wearing the
run-of-the-mill
mask. I didn't know it was you.
Halloween parties.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
only imagining you, Ryan, as the room parent who requires the children in the classroom to dress up as. So here, we're going to do this, and I'm going to tell people that I go to fancy parties, and everybody wears masks, and it's a ball.
And then they show up as raisins.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
joke's
the
on
costume you meant, right?
Brad,
Do I dress up for Halloween?
are you like into the
Do you dress up
costume?
outside of
We
Halloween?
know
I
that
do.
you did. We know you did Captain America
Captain
for
America.
trivia night because your helmet picture
still
on
have the
Twitter
helmet.
at Range Brad on Twitter is of you in a helmet dressed as Captain
Yeah.
America. But like, is that fun for you?
Depends on the setting. So like that for those trivia nights, I dressed up as Slash one year from Guns N' Roses,
Mhm.
and that one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I could look like him, but hey, it worked out. So stuff like that is
It's all
fun.
about the
but,
good costume.
but I don't actually like cosplay. Nah.
This is gonna come as a surprise to you guys. I hate dressing up.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
You're kidding.
No way.
I thought that would have been your thing.
I would be.
What's
su-
Annie's
I
thing
would
this
be
year?
Such
Oh,
a
great.
sad
Here we
panda.
go.
So my son is getting. First of all, my son is all of a sudden huge. He's getting to the point where he's almost as tall as me, and he's just like he wears men's small stuff as much as he wears youth extra large stuff because he's tall and he's like leaned out in the last 6 months. So it's very hard. Like Halloween costumes are hard to find for him because I don't know. We could talk about this at another time, but like, what's the acceptable age to trick or treat and what's not? He's starting to be the size that many might think is not acceptable, but he's 12. Well,
Mhm.
no, he's not. He's 11. He'll be 12 in December. So you could totally trick or treat at 11 years old. There's nothing wrong with that. But he doesn't, all the Disney costumes that we would normally peruse or whatever, they don't come in his size. So this year, I told him, I was like, you should just be something funny. Like, don't worry about being a character, just be something funny. So this year, he's going to be the T-Rex inflatable costume, and I'm so excited for it. And I just told Ryan before we went live here that it is an adult size costume. So I'm really excited for the future representation of the Annie Fry Show in a T-Rex costume, Ryan.
As I said, those are not funny to stand around in on the radio. They're only funny when you run.
So where are you going? Where are
I
we gonna...
guess I'm just going to run back and forth between my mic and yours.
Run circles
You know,
in the studio.
I have an Annie Fry T-shirt that might fit on that dinosaur too.
Ooh. Yes.
The best costume I've ever seen.
We'll have to
And
roll up the sleeves.
This is odd because it's the guy I do lives for, the dentist from Fountain Family Dentistry, Ty Parker. He's so good at costumes. One year he dressed up as Robert Wadlow, the Alton Giant.
He's in stilts.
He was like 12 feet tall and stayed on the stilts the whole night.
Wow.
It was incredible. And he looked exactly like that time period. It was amazing. Best costume I've ever seen.
My oldest daughter, who's 9, is going to be Lilo, and I have a little Stitch costume for Molly.
That's
And
cute.
she's going to be
Amazing.
That's cute.
Yes.
Is that? And then my kindergartner, 5-year-old daughter, is going to be jump into the chalk painting Mary Poppins in the white dress with the white hat and the umbrella. So she's going to be Mary Poppins.
Is that where the umbrella came from on that picture?
Now, that will be her second Mary Poppins costume.
Okay.
Because she also has the Mary Poppins costume where Mary Poppins starts in the movie with the black hat with the cherries and the daisies on it and the umbrella that has the little puffin or something like that on it and the white shirt and the blue flannel skirt. I found that on a Facebook swap post and it was my daughter's size and it was like $20 and it was the find of the century. So my 5-year-old, my kindergartner, will actually she loves to put on these costumes and stuff, which I appreciate because we have so many Halloween dresses and stuff that we bought that I'm glad they're getting more use than 1 day or 2 days a year. She dressed up like Mary Poppins to sit and watch Mary Poppins this weekend. It's on Twitter at Annie Fry Show. I think it's about as cute as it gets.
If you're picking my costume, because are we dressing up for October 31st here? For the live stream?
I should set a goal that if something happens, then we will all dress up.
That's vague, but okay.
Facebook. We got to see how many Facebook likes we have. Carry on.
My goal though is that if you get to pick what I get to wear,
your goal.
Oh no, here we go.
Your goal.
Then I get to pick
what Brad gets to wear.
Let's do it. Why did I say it so slowly? So, Brad, gonna get to pick what you wear this year.
You could pick it,
and then you and I can confer on what Annie gets to wear.
I was gonna say I get to pick what Trisha's gonna wear, and then Trisha will get to pick what Annie gets to wear.
I'm good with that.
No,
I'll dress up as Mark Cox. I'll wear some T-shirt that says FJB on it or something like that.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
That's one of the easiest ways to offend somebody in the world is to dress up like them for Halloween and pick out the little things that they do that they don't even know they do.
I will dress up as Mark Cox if Mark Cox will dress up as me.
I would love. Oh my gosh,
that would be
please make this
fantastic.
happen. Please make this happen. And Trisha's going to dress up as Reardon.
If we have 15,453 people who like the Facebook page right now. If we get to 16,000 likes, if we get to over 16,000 likes by the last show we do before Halloween, which I think Halloween is a
Sunday, the 31st.
So it has to be by that Thursday. By the time we end the show on Thursday, I will let Ryan and Brad, I advocated hard for you to get this job because I trust you. I will let the two of you pick my costume.
Okay.
But I have to be able to do it to find it in a day.
Okay.
Right.
It's going to be one of those monkeys of the zoo that lost.
Or
the
actually,
poop
no.
fight.
Let's do it this way. You got to pick what the costume is. Just confer on what the costume is, and
I already decided.
and tell people. You got to agree on it.
Oh,
that's
okay.
why Brad is in this mix. Trisha too. Trisha's in on it too. The three of you have to agree on what it's going to be.
Okay.
And you got to come up with it and tell the people ahead of time. 16,000 likes. We're going to know what the costume is ahead of time, and we'll just wait, and I'll fret. How's that?
Sounds good.
Yes,
Don't go like the Facebook page, people.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. I've been warning our clients that IRS employees are back at work since mid-July, and their collection efforts have ramped up. Well, sure enough, it looks like it's happening. So if you have unfiled tax returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Tax resolution plans are based off your current income. So if your current income